Ding, 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 ding.
Right there, buddy. Right there.
That's what I'm talking about.
Right there.
But you know,
What's up, everyone? This is Arnaldo, aka wait, because I don't even know the episode number.
False start. False start.
What's up, everyone? This is Arnaldo, aka Mad Dog, and this is going to be the real episode 1823.
Woo! Yeah.
Sir, I need you to take your medicine, please. I need you to take your medicine.
Thank you.
Just kidding, guys. The real
Just
episode
kidding.
112. And with me, of course, is Mr. David Santos, a.k.a. Dream Twister.
I'm going to pop some tags. I only got $20 in my pocket.
Nice.
I'm looking for a come up, and this is fucking awesome.
Oh, man. Thanks so much for tuning in, guys. We are short one co-host, unfortunately, Miss Krista Montanez, a.k.a. Shadow 24/7, is actually on vacation. She said, the hell with this shit. I'm out. No,
She is on assignment, actually.
Yes.
She went to E3 and realized that it was too late to be there.
Yeah.
So
she's
she
on her
is
long way
upset.
back.
And she was like, well, might as well be here. Might as well do something
Yes.
with my life. So, yes.
She is actually out in San Antonio, Texas, with her uncle. She's just kind of hanging out over there, visiting family.
Her uncle, the developer of ID.
Uncle?
ID.
Oh, uncle, yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly, She's checking Doom 2 for us. They're going to give us an
No, it's
exclusive view.
it's not called Doom 2. What is it called? Doom something.
Doom
Yeah.
Forever. We already forgot.
Infinite?
Man, if
No?
it's not Infinite.
Shit,
That's
I don't know
Halo.
what it's- yeah, that's a Halo Infinite. Shit.
I'm sure it'll come to us.
It'll come back to
Well,
us.
I'm sure she'll
I'm sure
let
we'll
us
look it
know.
up
I
at
mean,
one point.
she's also there checking out Fallout 76 and the sequel 77, which should be
Which is not
very
coming out
exciting. Yeah,
till
people don't know about that.
2025.
Yeah. She's gonna bring us the news.
Exactly. Oh, man. If this is your first time tuning in, first off, thanks so much for tuning in. Please like, subscribe, and share the podcast with everyone. And most importantly, go to goodgame.tech and join the conversation there. Takes you right to the premier Facebook group.
No, you know what? We don't want you there. Just don't go. Don't go. That group is too good for you. You can just, skip that group, skip the podcast, might as well, and just go on with your life.
Is there a point to this? I don't know.
reverse psychology.
Oh, reverse psychology.
Psychology reverse.
Nice.
You should have known. You should know.
Let's hope it works.
Let's hope it works. Otherwise,
Yes.
all
Otherwise,
the members of the group just get out of the group. Just get out. It's canceled. It's gonna become a D&D group.
we're just going to dissolve
actually,
it.
that'd be awesome.
A D&D group?
Well, a spin-off.
A spin-off.
We'll call it
Instead of
DD.
instead of DD.
Double D.
Nice. That is
Oh my
the
God.
next group we have. Sorry. So, on the show, we always start with what we have been up to. And this time, Mr. David Santos, since it's just you and I,
Yeah.
you can start off. What you been up to, sir?
Oh man, why have I? Well, just come back from E3. It's a crazy show. It's super hectic. The people, especially during the public days, people just
public
go
event.
crazy. Yeah, the public events. I saw the press conference, first row. I was the guy yelling, "Yeah!"
There was a guy yelling at the Microsoft.
That
I
was
like,
me.
Jesus Christ, man, chill out.
Every time, my plan was to every time I heard the word exclusive, I go
To
like,
yell
yeah! Because people don't believe that they're actually exclusive, even
For
though.
good reason. Just saying.
Well, their definition of exclusive, it's a little stretched.
It is. Definitely.
Exclusive timing. Exclusive console launch, but it's coming.
You get to
PS4
see it
next week.
exclusively here.
Exactly. You get to see world premiere.
Exclusive. And
God,
I'm like,
sadly.
wait a minute. World premiere exclusive?
What is the exclusive? The world premiere or the? Anyway, so there was an announcement for a DLC for Prey, which the trailer, even though it's not like it's not like anything superb or anything like compared to all the trailers that we saw at E3.
Correct.
But this one in particular, it was catchy. I kind of liked it, and I think I mentioned it on the little things that we did after the show. The DLC for Prey called Moon Crash.
Moon Crash.
Where
they had two though. They had Moon Crash and have another one in the future. I forgot what it was.
No, Moon Crash. Well, no, there's the. Oh yeah, you might be right. There might be another one for the. I don't remember the.
But they don't have it out yet.
But this one, it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be. What do you call it? What they it changes the world. Procedure generated. Well, not the levels, but the things of the level. The environment. And there was something cool about that trailer that had the music. I keep forgetting who's singing that. You spin me round, baby, round, like a record, round. Something.
That's because it kept reloading.
And every time it will stop, and it should say, "Let's get to work," and it'll start again, but it looked different. And you spin me round, because he'll get killed or whatever. Let's get to work. You spin me right. Anyway, the thing is that it was a cool little trailer, and also it got me interested in this game which came out last year, which I ignored, not necessarily because I thought it was like a bad idea or anything like that, but because we had a lot of games, and just seeing that the Bethesda was still working on it and patching it and putting more content to it, supporting it. I was like, oh, I wonder how much I could find it on PC. So I found it actually that same night during the conference. It was like $13, and I was like, yeah. Now if you press this button, I'll give you my phone. I was like, it's on the card. If you press that button, you would have purchased it for me.
I think he got as far as you press that button and you would have clicked.
By the time you were like, oh, I guess I own it now. So I've been playing a lot of Prey, man.
Okay.
Prey is the what are we calling it, a sequel? No, it's not a sequel. It's a reboot. It's an entirely
we'll call it a reboot. Yeah,
entire reboot to the original 2007 Prey by the same name, because that game was supposed to have a sequel, Prey 2, which I remember seeing at E3 at one point. It looked amazing for that console generation, 360 PS4. It looked ridiculous, but nothing happened. Nothing happened. That development got tumultuous, and at the end they just gave up on it. Yeah, they pulled the plug. So they brought it back. This time has absolutely nothing to do with the events of the original game. In the original game, you're this Native American character who has his whole family suddenly like abducted, I think, by aliens.
Oh, the original, yeah.
On the original one, yeah. And then you go after them, and while you're going after them, you're summoning like your spirit powers, kind of. And I mean, you're super badass. That game was really cool for its time.
I can see why they would, because, and I hate to say it, I hate to put it this way, but due to the sensitivity of Native Americans and the whole spirit
that will
thing,
suck, because that's not even 9 years ago that it came out. It will suck if this is what society have devolved into.
I mean,
right
there
now.
was, and I don't mean to sidetrack your thing here, but there was the little thing about Horizon Zero Dawn, where the use of the word natives and all this stuff, it kind of sprung up a little bit of a backlash.
Yeah.
So if that little bit of tiny little thing caused it, I can see them saying, "Hey,
I'm afraid for our kids in the future when they." Well, your kids are big already, but for my kid in the future, won't be able to play, cowboys and Indians. We'll have to play cowboys and, I guess, are we allowed to call them Native American by then?
Yeah, I would assume so.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Anyway, the point is to say that you were a badass on the first game. On this one, you are kind of a wimpy scientist, I want to say, because let me tell you, that game is super hard. That game is super hard.
Not a commentary on the world right now at all. But
No. Yeah. You're just, you're just a wimpy scientist on this one, because you're not allowed to be a badass anymore.
I will let that die.
No, yeah.
I couldn't help but say that one though.
A filthy millennial.
Yeah.
No. So you wake up and you go to work, and I don't know if I should go too much into it. I mean, honestly, it's trailer. Mm-hmm. It's trailer material, of this. So you go, you go to work, and something happens, and then you wake up again. It's the same day. It's the same time, and you start noticing, like, wait a minute. There's something weird over here. Like this not everything looks as it seems, And that was actually from pretty much the trailer.
Yeah.
Anyway, I have a love-hate relationship with this game because let me tell you, it's a cool world. First of all, most of the game you're spending it on this space station that has been, I guess, invaded by these alien creatures, but the alien creatures, they're kind of like the Blob almost.
Okay.
There's this black inky stuff that just keeps jumping at you, and this is the part, the things that I hate. So many jump scares. It's ridiculous.
Is it because
it's not
they're completely telegraphed and you see them coming?
No,
or you don't see them coming.
You don't see them coming at all. Like you start a level and like, okay, I'm gonna jump 3 or 4 times. And it's not because they're super scary or anything like that. It's just because they do it so sudden. Mm-hmm. So it's not, you know what I mean? Like you get something like Dead Space.
Okay.
And those things were fucking scary.
Yes, it was.
And on top of that, they're jumping at you and they're attacking you. That's ridiculous.
Well, the beauty of that one is that you just didn't know where it was coming from. Sometimes you thought it was like everything was leading you to believe it was about to happen, and then nothing happened. So you were always on edge.
Or sometimes sometimes the layout of the map of the area will kind of lead you like, okay, I see a lot of cover here.
Yeah.
There's something about it's about to go down.
Shit's about to go down.
Yeah. Over here, it's a dangerous spot. Over here, it's just a regular space station. You could be going into an office and just like grabbing shit left and right, and boom, I don't know, or this stupid. It's almost like the head crabs in Half-Life. Okay. You never have played Half-Life 2, but you've probably seen it. Mm-hmm. Where it's just this little thing that just keep jumping at you, and they're like ridiculously hard to shoot at, to kill them or to hit them with your branch, So that's annoying in itself because they jump on you, they start jumping everywhere. You can't get a straight shot. On top of that, your ammo is ridiculously scarce. You're counting bullets at that point. To the point that, okay, this took me a lot of bullets to reload. I'm probably gonna, to kill. I'm probably gonna reload a save because I need to find a more efficient way of killing. No, I'm not playing it like that. I'm kind of loose on it because I just want to see how far it takes me. And I've been noticing that, if I relax and I just let things happen, unlike XCOM 2, which I could not do that because I know that's an automatic death. It lets you, get far enough. Okay. So I haven't had a lot of like reloads unless I die, which you will die in this game a lot because again you're super wimpy.
Question: is those little thing? Are they the only?
No.
Enemies? Okay.
No. So far, I have encountered all the enemies. They call them phantoms.
Okay.
Which are bigger versions of those inky things. These ones are inky things that are bigger. And they have a shot that is super fast, that it hits you, knocks half of your life, hits you again, you're dead.
Wow.
And I'm playing on normal. Game is super hard. Maybe not super hard, but it's annoying enough. Yeah, it's challenging. What do I say? Those are the elements that I'm annoyed at. The elements that I like is it's an alternate reality, which I'm a huge fan of. Kennedy survived the assassination, evidently.
Oh, nice.
This one, so it shows it shows
What
on the
the world
space
would be
station.
like, yeah.
And it showed him, and of course he's dead by the events of that happened on the station. But he died of old
age.
old age. Yeah. So you see his picture with gray hair and stuff like that. It's kind of like, and it gives you a little bit of story, or you find stories in this computer terminals, kind of like Deus Ex, if you recall.
I haven't played Deus Ex.
You can hack into computers. You can find the passwords to computers. It's that kind of emergent world where you do.
Is that how the story is told to you through these?
For the most part, yeah. Okay. I just encountered my first human character, basically.
Jeez.
And
how long you been playing?
Roughly. Probably about like 5 or 6 hours.
Oh wow.
Actually, that's not entirely true, but I mean, obviously, when the game starts and you go in and you meet your brother at your place of work and whatever. But then when shit hits the fan and now you wake up, you're by yourself in this station. You could go long stretches of game without meeting like anybody else.
Wow.
And I don't know if that's gonna be cool or if that's gonna get boring. Because right now, what's grabbing me is the knowing what happened here. I want to know the story. The space station is cool to explore because again, you're hacking. It had these things where you augment your powers. Actually, I told you were super wimpy, but you could, from the looks of it, you could become super powerful with these things. This augments, I'm gonna call them. You kind of like shove in your eye, and it could give you, it could give you several powers. It's supposed to be perks like knowledge. So suddenly you'll be very good at hacking or very good at recycling materials to build weapons or to upgrade your weapons or stuff like that. So that's cool. It also has a mechanic where you could also learn to use the enemy's powers, but at the expense of, I'm going to call it, your humanity. Because at first, the defensive turrets that you can use, and you can even deploy them yourself, and they help you. Like I grab a turret, and I'll be walking into a room, and when I'm ready to, I deploy it down, and then I start exploring. The moment I hear something loud, I just run back to the turret. Just like, help me, and the turret will take care of it if it's actually something. But if you take those powers, like you could actually have the powers of the aliens of shooting that energy beam that will destroy real fast, and have others that I haven't uncovered what it is, but it gives me the idea that it's gonna become that I could become very powerful with the alien powers. The problem is now I have alien DNA on me, so now the turrets and the defensive systems are gonna recognize me as a threat.
Nice.
So it could actually work against me.
Yeah.
So I haven't, even though that tech level, that tech tree is open, I haven't gone to it. Like I haven't wanted to put anything on it. I want to remain human on this one because I get the feeling that this might lead into like a bad ending or something like that. I don't know if the game has multiple endings, but I've been having a blast with it, man. That game is super, super fun.
That was great. I remember you were very lukewarm on it early on, but I had a feeling you because that's what everybody says. As far as the reviews, it's like if you stick to it, there's a reason, and once you get into it, it starts to get good. So I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah, it was an unexpected fun, and
for $13.
Oh, exactly, yeah. And I can admit it's for 30. But I would say even if you see it on a PSN sale for, I don't know, $25-$30, I think it's still a good buy. The game's apparently it's going to be super long.
Wow.
It's super long not because the game itself maybe the levels are created to be that long, but more because you're gonna want to explore everything, every little crevice. You're gonna want to see it because you need everything.
All the information,
to give you your advantage, to take advantage of it. Yeah.
Nice.
So that was that. I also play. You remember Cinemora?
Yeah.
Cinemora EX was released a while back. A while back. And I was going to my Steam library and I saw, hey, I have this. Oh, I remember they had something new. I think I didn't like the idea of the animals, of anthropomorphic,
characters.
Yeah. a la Star Fox or something like that. But I know this game had a serious tone. It was, it was good. A shoot up, a shmup, shoot up.
Yeah. A flight shoot 'em or
Yeah,
a
yeah,
space shoot 'em up.
yeah. So I installed it. I started playing it, and I noticed. You remember that game had what we thought, or at least I thought, there was an invented language. Whenever the characters will talk, it will talk in this like weird language.
Just weird stuff. Yeah.
But it's actually Hungarian.
Is it? Nice.
Yeah, it's a real language. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So I thought, I was like, man, that sounds really good. That sounds
is
like
really good,
that
yeah.
was very well done language for this indie title. And no, it's actually because it. So now it has English voiceovers.
Oh, is that what the EX version has?
I guess so. But, I guess so. Oh my God, they're terrible. They
Should have just stuck with the old one.
Oh, I did. Well, I didn't, in the sense that if I go back to it, I will put it in the original language because, oh my God, it sounds so bad.
Nice.
It sounds like super amateurish. Like this, they gave people on the street or the developers or someone, they just paid them.
Just come here.
Paid them.
Say
Yeah,
this line
just
real quick.
say this line.
We just need to have an English track,
Yeah.
to put it in here.
And maybe it's not. I mean, it's not Jill Sandwich terrible. I'm just saying
Thank
that
God, yeah.
compared to the inflection of the original language, I might not be understanding what they're saying, but I'm reading what it's saying, and I know when they inflect emotion, even
It
if I'm
sounds
the one
sincere,
reading
yeah.
it, I'm feeling the emotion,
Yeah.
But no, man, it doesn't work in
Wow.
English apparently.
That's sad.
So yeah. I haven't been. I've only been playing those two for the most part. I saw a movie last week after the podcast, actually, or day after maybe, called Upgrade.
Oh yes, nice. The
Yes.
upgrade movie.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, Upgrade. I really like that movie.
Movie of the year?
No. Honestly, I tell you what it is. If I had paid for it, like because I movie passed it. That was my first movie pass movie.
Isn't it great?
It's excellent, and it makes you appreciate it because you're not concerned about that. Oh, I paid $35 for me and my wife to watch this movie, and it was kind of a letdown. If I had to score it, I'll probably score it like like an 8. And it's because not to over the hype or anything like that, but it is a cool story, or rather, it is. You think you know the story, but it is a little bit deeper than that. It feels like if you've seen the trailers, you can tell by it that this is going to be a revenge story. On the same level of
That's what the trailer looks like.
Yeah. So you are this guy that by unfortunate events that you can see in the trailer, he becomes paralyzed. So this other character who is who is, I don't know if he's a CEO or somebody big from the company that is developing this technology that allows kind of implants a chip on your vertebrae or your column or your upper neck, and it is almost like having a second brain. So it controls.
That can't be bad at all. No.
No, exactly. Hey, and especially considering what happened to this poor guy, given he was left paraplegic, basically, given the choice to not just walk again, but walk again. And now that you have this, you're gonna get to kick ass.
Nice.
Robocop style.
Anybody would take that.
So, well, he was hesitant because again, it was horrific what happened to him. Oh, by the way, kind of gruesome for a movie for the type of movie.
Oh, really?
And I see the point. Not that they do it a lot, but when they do it, you're like, oh shit, he got it. I mean, it's manageable. It's nothing that you go immediately to the bathroom to throw up. But,
Jeez.
it's not Saw, but it is from somebody from Saw was involved. I don't know if it's I don't know if the producer or the director or the whatever. You could check this. Actually, do me a favor. Pull the IMDb because you're good at checking the and knowing the actors. I didn't really recognize these actors
From the main people?
In particular from seeing them in someplace else, but I don't watch a lot of movies.
Okay.
Anyway, if you get the opportunity to watch it, it actually does. It almost has comedic elements here and there that are, to me, they're well done. You know, it doesn't go ridiculous. It doesn't go overboard. It doesn't go anything. It's just that some of the things you're like, yeah, that's. Yeah, you know, like those moments, like John Wick will have those moments.
Yeah, it does.
You know,
director's name is Leigh Whannell, and he was responsible for looks like a couple of the Saws, and for the Insidious movies.
Have you seen any of those that you could speak to?
The Saw, I've seen most of the Saws, and yeah, they're. I mean, I'm gonna say that they're intense because they. I don't know, maybe a little desensitized to them, but they are very good, very, very well made for the most part, especially the early ones. Insidious, I did not see because I saw the trailer for one, and there was something in the trailer that just left me like, nope,
I ain't doing it.
I can't do that. Yep. And that's fine. I'll be a little punk ass. I don't care.
I thought that I was a little worried about this movie getting there, but it in no way it felt like that. It was just like, okay, this guy didn't get killed. This guy got fucked up. Like
RoboCop.
Yes, like the first RoboCop.
Murphy. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. It's really good. I told you, you know what? Not that I have to be in a hurry. Not that you have to spend money on it or anything like that. But if you get the opportunity to movie pass it,
okay.
Especially with you have like I do the limit of 3 movies a month.
Yeah.
Put that as one of them.
Okay.
Because it's
worth it.
Yeah, it's good. I liked it. I loved the ending. Loved everything. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
Not always easy to stick the landing. So.
No, I think they stuck the landing. Yeah. You know what? Yeah. Actually, to say more will be to start spoiling it. So I'm just gonna leave it there.
Fair enough.
Yeah. There's a movie that you and I has watched which we really enjoyed the ending of it, and that's I can't say anymore.
Can't say what it is.
That's
I got you.
That's it. So yeah, that's pretty much what I've been doing.
Nice. Well, I mean, all I've been doing, I just finished finally. Yes, I finished Celeste.
You got to this.
I got to the mountaintop, and I did it all. It was challenging as as fuck. Yes. I actually had to take a screenshot of the amount of time it took me to do it and the amount of deaths.
Oh, that. Okay. What's the body count?
The body count is 1,657 times I died. Okay.
Damn, son.
And it took me 8 hours and 52 minutes to get through.
That's good.
It was one of those weird things that, I mean, I died a lot, you know what I mean? But it reloads so fast, you know, so you're right there again.
Hold on. A brief description for those who don't remember.
Yes, for what Celeste is basically a puzzle platformer that requires some serious timing for jumps and all this stuff. The story is very simple. I won't go into the more later elements, but it does have a story.
It's beautiful.
And it's very nice.
Beautiful.
It's essentially this girl, Madeline. She comes to the mountain. The mountain's called Celeste. And she decides to scale the mountain. There are some little bit of supernatural factors involved. She does run into her own. I don't say her own personality, but some of her own fears.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. Personally, yeah. And so it's done pretty well. It is comical. It is written pretty well.
It is written. Well. I thought the writing on that game was
very cool.
Very cool. How's the art style?
The art style. Well, the art style is very pixelated. I mean, I can't even say it's 16-bit. I mean, it's probably. Oh, yeah, I guess it is 16-bit. It does have the
augmented 16-bit.
Yeah, augmented, but it's a little blurry or more pixelated than a pixelated game would be. You know what I'm saying? Which is okay.
Except the character portraits. I thought the character portraits were really cool.
They were nice.
She was so cute.
And she was cute in the sense also that what was bothering her. There's elements of in essence, there's elements of depression. I'll just leave it at that. That's essentially pushing this character, and even she at some point questions, why the hell am I doing this for? You know what I mean? But it didn't matter. You know, you still push through. So you're also pushing through with her, especially how challenging the game is. But it's also so well designed where it's one of those situations where the reason I didn't make this jump because I fucked up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is definitely a D-pad game. You know what I'm saying? You need to.
A D-pad game.
A D-pad game. You can use the analog sticks, but let me tell you, it's not that they're not precise, but you have to be even more precise.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
By the time you run your finger across the length of the analog, you would have died.
Exactly.
You have to be like.
You have to be very very precise.
No lag whatsoever.
No.
Good
it's
TV
very
then.
Good. Oh yeah. It's very good. I definitely I recommend to anybody who likes a challenge, anybody who likes platforming games, anybody who may need this type of story in their life as well. You know what I mean?
Would you say the story of her conquering this mountain? It's kind of like an allegory to like conquering her fears.
It is.
Without spoiling anything, obviously.
I mean. Realistically, I mean the type of game I don't think it's a spoiler to say.
No.
You know what I mean? So
it telegraphs it very well from the very beginning.
Exactly. Yeah. So that said, yes, it is obviously a very challenging thing to try to face certain fears or certain feelings that that you may have. Which could just be simple doubts in yourself and stuff like that, and those are, especially literally. When you get to a certain part of your life where you've been doing this for years. You know what I mean? You're used to reacting certain ways and all this. So anyway,
it almost feels like you have died inside 1,370. 600. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's really good. I'm glad I played. It's been on my list since it was first announced.
Yeah, I played a little bit of it, and of course bigger things came out, and I dropped it. But I've been meaning to go back because I was having a lot of fun.
Honestly. And please don't take this in any negative way, but I don't even think you're gonna make it.
Why? You don't think I have the skill? I have, sir. I'll have you know.
That's not what I said.
I'm playing next. Oh, okay. Go ahead.
That's not what I said. I simply said I just don't think you have the temperament.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I mean.
Yeah. Well, the good thing about it is that it reloads really fast.
Think I meant that, but no. No, I really meant the temperament because, dude, even I was like, son of a.
What?
Yeah, you know what I mean.
I think I saw you one time playing.
Yeah. And I was like, I can't fucking believe this, But again, you can never blame the game. It is because I touched the wrong end of the D-pad, son of a bitch, yeah. But no, I definitely enjoyed that. So I highly recommend that. I started playing now Trials Fusion because it's free.
Oh yes.
And God, that game is so good. I played they had a
that a spin-off that was
something dragon.
Something what
the hell was it called?
Blood Dragon
spinoff.
Yeah.
Which is the first Trials game that I've ever essentially played. Yeah.
Not the first one that came out because
correct.
By that time they had done that. This was kind of like a collaboration or
between all
Blood
within
Dragon
the
world.
Ubisoft world. But I remember really enjoying the motorcycle bits.
Yeah.
And here I'm really it just took me back again. And that's one thing. The other one fucked up. They had actual running levels, and that just
nobody wants that. Yeah.
But no, the actual motorcycle levels are really really fun. The only thing that kind of pissed me off a little bit, I turn on the game for the very first time. I have not touched anything at all. And it's when I go to campaign mode, instead of like dropping me off at the very first tutorial, whatever that you kind of go through, it drops me off at this. Hey, by the way, we have the season pass and you can get all these. And I was like, I was really, I felt, I was like, that's already like, you guys kind of, now you're fucking around.
That's too much, yeah.
So, and of course, there's a bunch of them. It's like, there's 2 seasons. One has a six whatever pack and then whatever. And I'm sitting there going, I haven't even started this. And at one point I thought, don't tell me this is not free. And I was even questioning. I was like, are you freaking kidding me? But and then of course I have to just kind of toggle until I get to the main campaign levels. I was like, it left a little sour taste right at the very, very beginning.
I understand you want to have that. If you want to
somewhere else,
put it somewhere else. If you're gonna put it like right in your face when you press start, that's like seeing an ad when before watching a YouTube video. And I paid to get that shit out, and I don't even want to be advertised.
It's a pain in the ass, but
now that's a game. That's a game where you gotta get really upset at later levels.
I'm sure. I'm already
them,
upset. I mean, I'm only for maybe the second portion of it. And I'm not upset, but and again, that's another game that's beautifully reloads quick.
Yeah.
If you fuck up, just hit the button, boop, you're right back at the beginning and just start over again. That said, to get to certain things, I mean, I also have shadows or I should say ghosts that I do. So I immediately saw other players that I have. I saw Sparrow Wolf. I saw KDL. I saw a couple of those.
I need to get on this.
Hey, look at these guys, you know. And of course, there goes their shadow. So now suddenly, even though I would try just to kind of get through the level, but now that I'm seeing those ghosts, I'm going, fuck, I need to can't keep up with these guys. You know what I mean? And
that's the best.
Yeah. So
and the worst.
Yeah, that's true. It's picking on your need to
be better.
To beat them. Yeah.
Beat them. Yeah.
But yeah, so that's what I've been playing. I also saw a movie which is actually on Prime right now and it's free. It's called Nerve, and it stars the younger brother of Franco. Dave Franco is the younger brother. James Franco is the older brother.
Okay.
And also stars Emma Roberts, which is Julia Roberts' daughter. It's one of those things where, first off, the main point of the story is this. So there is this online game that you can play through your phone. And what it is, it's almost like a truth or dare type thing. Do the dare, you do it correctly, you get it on your camera, you get it essentially video recorded, and you win money. And as you move through as you do more and more of them, the money goes up and everything. Okay. And then you have two options. You can be I think it's called the watcher. So you can actually just tune in to watch and see what's going on, or you can be a player. And being a player obviously requires a lot of a lot of guts to do a lot of these things. So, it's an interesting premise. It's also a very, direct correlation to current society and the need to see the newest, craziest video that's out there. These guys are obviously creating them on purpose. We don't know. That's the one thing we don't know, and I guess that's not really. I'll leave it at that. But there is no mention as to who's doing this in the background. But whoever's running it is running it, And it's I found it like really good. And then at some point, it just became okay. And it was just this weird thing where I was like, okay, well, you know what? The easiest one to compare it to would be, it feels like a full-length film version of an episode of Black Mirror. That's exactly what it feels like. Right?
All right. Yeah.
It's 90 minutes long or 100 minutes long, so it's not very long, but it's that same type of scenario, the same Black Mirror thing.
Yeah, where
technology
like
and all this stuff. Yeah,
something here is gonna make you feel uncomfortable for whatever reason.
Correct. Now, having that in my mind as I'm watching it, I'm like, okay, I'm expecting to see, whatever, and it never quite reaches the heights of some of these Black Mirror episodes, which are extremely good. And so with that, it left me kind of like, okay. You know what I mean?
It's not. They didn't even do the really good episode of Black Mirror. They just kind of went with the
Yeah.
The one with the VR.
They tried. Exactly. They tried. It looks like they were trying, and maybe they wanted a bigger audience.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I think it's only rated PG-13. Obviously, Black Mirror is not.
Yeah. No.
So because of that, again, you already limit that, and I guess I understand they want to have bigger audiences, all that. But I think had they pushed the line and really taken some leaps, it probably would have been a lot better. That said, I still enjoyed it for what it was. It has really good not cinematography, but certain moments where the lighting is good. Because it's in New York City, and so you get to some areas where they get dared to, I don't know, to walk across this thing, whatever. All these weird dares that get done.
I mean, well, that was gonna be my question. Is it that the dares are like really, really messed up? Like, okay, no, I couldn't do that. I couldn't do that, not even for $1 million or anything like that.
So this is early on, so it's not really that big of a deal.
Yeah.
So, the way they meet each other, the two main characters, Franco is sitting at a diner and she decides to become a player, and she's like, oh, I just want to do it so I can get some money, blah 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 blah, and I think it was $100, and the dare was to go to a stranger and kiss him for a minute. You know what I mean? So,
okay, gotcha.
So obviously,
I think I've seen this trailer
the
actually.
trailer, yeah. So obviously, again, this is kind of an immediate. Of course, it's going to be Dave Franco. You know, you didn't even see Dave Franco yet.
Yeah.
You know, like, of course, that's who it's going to be. And who's sitting there just hanging out, you know, by himself at a diner is Dave Franco. And of course, of everyone in the diner, even I would probably pick Dave Franco. You see everybody else, they look like a bunch of bums just hanging out. You know? So I'm like, of course, I'm going to fucking pick him.
$100.
So, and then something.
$100.
Exactly. So he at some point because you also go in as a watcher, you can go in and you can rate and you can kind of say, you know, put in your comments and all this stuff, and of course people kind of like them together, so they start doing dares together. One of the dares was to make on a motorcycle to drive up to 60 miles an hour, make it to 60 miles an hour blindfolded. So
holy shit.
Yeah. So and then this is New York City, which I can tell you right now, not it's very difficult to get to 60 miles an hour in New York City.
Anything.
So anyway, but he's on a motorcycle because obviously he can zip through stuff. The scene, the moment, because they're teamed together, she's behind him on the motorcycles, kind of telling him,
directing him,
and she was also kind of making him lean, which actually worked. I was like, this is stupid. I mean, you can't warn him, whatever, but she's not. She was actually kind of leaning him and kind of steering him so he would move where he had to move, and I'm like, okay, I kind of buy that now. You know what I mean?
Me too.
So anyway, so those are the type of dares, essentially.
All right.
And of course they escalate, and then you have other players who now you're taking dares away from them. Your popularity is getting higher. Theirs is your viewers are getting higher. So it has all that online, you know, whatever stuff that you normally have from this stuff. So it's actually, I was like, man, this is really good, you know. And about halfway through, it's like things started getting a little bit like, oh, okay, I see where we're going here.
Yeah,
all right.
This is a little too Black Mirror-ish.
Yeah, no, I was okay with it being Black Mirror-ish, but I was like,
but you understand the formula.
Yeah. I wish they would have shocked me a little bit. I guess that's what I said. I wanted more shock, and I guess that's probably a bad thing to say, but I wanted more because I had Black Mirror in my head, so I wanted to have that. Holy crap!
Well,
you know what I mean?
With Black Mirror, you do have those moments of like, oh my God, I did not expect this to be the end. I mean, I thought I knew what's gonna happen, but wow.
Yeah.
So okay,
and no, we didn't get that.
No.
So,
I like good reviews.
I didn't get. Oh, I mean, you made, somebody else made, but I didn't get that.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't get that big whatever. Even that motorcycle thing, while it was pretty cool, wasn't that huge of a deal.
Yeah.
And so.
There's a movie. I wish I knew the title. I saw the trailer when I went to see Upgrade, and it reminds me of what you were describing. Except that on this one, this group of people, they always chatting, on the computer on the webcams, and they have like a chat party, like like a chat party. Yeah. And. One of them is using this computer that he found or he stole or whatever, I don't remember, and he starts checking it out in front of everybody, and he opens a file to something interesting to him, and it turned out to be a link to the dark web. Now, the dark web is a real thing.
It is,
but obviously,
and is mentioned in this movie, by the way. Okay.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. The dark web is a real thing. What they try to over here, of course, they're gonna Hollywoodize it and make it something that. So he discovered this thing where it looks like suddenly there's like I don't know, there was human trafficking and stuff like that, and then whoever is the owner contacts gets him on his computer, and he starts like threatening them, and then the hackers, and again, this is all in the trailers. They start messing up with the other people. The next thing you have one of the friends is like on top of a building, and he's like, "What is he doing over there?" And then he jumps to his death, like, "Oh
shit!" You
know. And then another girl is crying because she's seeing video footage of the hospital bed where her mom is. And the
clearly somebody's
you
there,
can see the hacker saying, say bye-bye or whatever. Kind of like reminds you of that scene in Matrix. And it looks very fucked up. You know, I can't remember the name of it, but I saw it and I was like, okay, I can. Yeah, I don't know if I will stomach something like this. Not because it had to be gruesome or anything like that. It's just it's gonna be uncomfortable to watch.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Which I hope is the case. And again, not because I want to be uncomfortable, but because, I want to see something different. At some point, I was already, okay, I see they're probably gonna hear. So it kind of already formed itself out.
I can almost see yourself like figuring Upgrade out the same way.
Okay.
But still, it's still an enjoyable ride. Just kind of like this one. I saw this one actually. I mean, not saw it. I saw the announcement in the trailers.
I think when you I don't even think I mentioned the name Nerve. Yeah.
To Nerve. I think when you turn on the fire stick, the fire, it's there.
Yeah.
So I do want to see that.
Yeah. It's definitely enjoyable. So but that's all I've been doing. And we're back, guys, and we're going to go into some news items.
Items.
Not a lot of news.
President Trump decided to... Oh, wait. That's not the type of news that we do.
No, he's all into E3. He was at E3. You didn't see him?
Oh, shit. No. That's fake news.
That is fake news.
Some real news.
There's not a lot of news, unfortunately, since E3 has ended.
Honestly,
not a lot going on.
You guys should be newsed out by now.
It's been nothing but
what to expect.
That said, there is a trailer. I'm going to start off here with the first piece, and that is there's a trailer that caught my eye. It's for a show that's coming to Netflix called Kiss Me First. And it appears to be a
romantic comedy.
No, like Ready Player One.
What?
Yeah.
That doesn't even sound like the name of a movie like that.
I don't know why he called it that. I'm sure it'll explain why it says "Kiss Me First," but I really don't. From the trailer, you get nothing of that. I'm like, there's not even a kiss in the trailer, so I have no idea why it's called that. But
that's like a movie like Saw being called Kiss the Rose or something like that.
Yeah, something, But yeah, it looked pretty interesting. It looked like it had actually interesting special effects for a show that's coming to Netflix. What'd you think of the trailer?
I saw the trailer. Obviously, you can't help but do the comparisons with Ready Player One.
It's almost uncanny.
Yes, I would say, yeah. And it was interesting, like, enough to make me want to watch. Now, this is a series.
Series.
This is not okay.
Which can be good or bad.
Or terribly bad.
Like Altered Carbon, I saw the whole thing. That trailer had me like, hell yeah, man. You know what I mean? And then I saw it and I'm like, it was a solid 7 by the time I finished the whole the season. So
that's not, at least that's not a waste of time.
No,
if it's a solid
exactly.
7, you could be like, okay, well, there was some entertaining value over here.
And to be fair, Netflix never had or doesn't have now this strict thing where they have to have 13 episodes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They've got a little better about that. Okay, just how many episodes do you need? You know, and we'll go with that. So hopefully they stick to that in this.
Then you can have movies like, what was it, The iBoy, which I had something to gouge my eyes at the moment.
It's funny.
It was terrible.
I was looking up on Netflix for anything cyberpunk related, that type of genre, right? And iBoy was there, and I was like, oh hell no!
I almost want you to watch it just out of sheer knowledge. Out of like, okay, you need to know what this is. You need to know what this exists. And with the super low expectation, maybe you can find redeeming value on it.
Maybe
you could be like, you know what? It's not terrible after all. And I'll be like, yeah, it was. But it's okay. I know you're traumatized.
So it's good, man.
So this trailer looked interesting, and I'm definitely gonna sit down and watch at least a couple episodes to see if it catches. 'Cause I'm dying for a series that will grab me like that. And I like sci-fi.
Yeah, that's the top reason why I'm like, oh, and there's actually a few, believe it or not, in my search for cyberpunk, for anything cyberpunk related, in Netflix. Actually, amongst many things, and of course, I don't have to explain where the sudden desire to watch something cyberpunk.
Cyberpunk, yeah, no, right,
I was completely denied any gameplay of Cyberpunk 2077.
Oh, we'll get to
from
that.
E3.
Oh, we'll get to that.
Bastards.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I felt the need to, and I didn't want to go through the anime collection of because I've watched it so many times. Yeah, I was watching so many times. I'm like, although that's not to say I wouldn't sit through it again. But
so how many times did you watch the new Blade Runner?
I actually ended up buying it on a video on demand.
There you go. There you go.
And I went and got the director's cut as well.
So I recommend this another one. It's really good, very cyberpunk. It's called Her.
Her is great.
You should actually see. No, I
can tell. I can tell you're.
I'm saying you should own that. You know, you should.
I should own it.
The movie,
and I should buy it for you too.
No, I'll pass. No, you don't have to do this for me. I'm okay.
Just saying. Just saying. There's a couple of gosh, if I can just see what it is, but there's a couple things I noticed that they had in there. Fuck man. Oh, this is a movie called Anon. It's on Netflix as well.
Anon, yeah.
And it has a Clive Owen and this girl. I can't remember her name, but anyway, it looks like it's another thing where your mind can be hacked because it has computer components and stuff like that. I'm like, ooh, but this is a film. So I'm like, okay, you know,
Amazon Prime?
No, Netflix. It's a Netflix original. So it's it's not going to go anywhere either.
Quality wise, would you incline more towards Amazon Prime movies, like their own their own, you know, direct or produce, or more towards Netflix?
Honestly, I think it's a mixed bag on both.
Honestly, 50-50?
Yeah, it's a mixed bag. You really have to look to see, you know, reviews and stuff like that in order to kind of get an idea, because some of the stuff that comes out on Netflix is freaking amazing. And even like, for instance, and this is one thing where I talk about Stranger Things. I recognize that Stranger Things is not perfect. No. The reason I love it is, one, it like touches the setting, the nostalgia that it gives me. I love all that. The music, every little bit about that show screams 80s, and I freaking love it. You know what I mean? That said, story's simple. You know, it's not, like I said, this is not a David Fincher, you know, level of writing and all this stuff. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. But so I get that. But there are some certain things that I've found that have that same feeling, and then other things just kind of fall, like I said, in the middle of the middle of the road, like Altered Carbon or something like that. So it's difficult to say. The answer is it's a mixed bag on both.
It's a mixed bag. Okay, all right. So trying to scrape from the little bits of news here and there, I realize some of you might be or might have been World of Warcraft players. I know I was not super heavily, but I did enjoy me some World of Warcraft. I think Jason plays. I don't know if he plays right now, but you know, I'm sure he likes it. So and the cool news that we had heard last year was that Blizzard was considering doing classic servers. For those of you who don't know, the classic servers are the servers that allows you to play the original World of Warcraft as it was like way back in 2000.
Why would anybody want to play that, though? It's got to be a little bit dated, no?
It dated, yes, but it was legit. It was hardcore. It was there was the gameplay elements were there were difficult. Some of the things, it was difficult to reach the things. I feel like along the years, as Blizzard opened more towards having everybody play the game, make it more welcoming, they kind of made it to where progression really didn't matter. It was so easy that it was difficult to feel enjoyment out of the achievements, out of the things that you conquered, you know, out of getting this rare weapon when everybody and their grandmothers have it now because it's so easy to acquire, you know, just because they wanted to make the game easier. And 40-man raids, man. they got away. You know how difficult, and I think you don't play
40-man raid.
you don't play World of Warcraft, but I'm sure you're familiar with the Leroy Jenkins video.
Yeah.
You've seen that level of planning. Even if that video was fake, you can appreciate the level of planning that went into those raids. You know, trying to pretty much take command and control of 40 peers and make sure that everybody was doing what they needed to be doing. They were you see with Destiny raids with 6 people and it's a rage fest. We will complaining and not following instructions. Imagine 40 people,
And it only took one Leroy Jenkins to screw it all up.
Leroy Jenkins. That is still good to this day. It's so sad to learn that was fake because it took away a lot of the mystique.
I think they should have just left it out there. They should have left it.
Yeah, they should have. Yeah.
I mean, that would have been in their minds. That would have just been the biggest, practical joke.
Yeah.
And they could just be laughing about it and not even no one knowing.
Yeah. At least they had chicken. So that's cool. It has that level of hardcore that people kind of feel like they miss and they want to go back. I'm curious, although I feel like it's something that I will go in, explore, be like, oh, this is this is great. This brings so many memories, and never touch again.
And get the goal out.
Let's face it, there was some quality of service, quality of life fixes that they did, which
on purpose,
not having to like being able to queue anywhere to a particular dungeon from anywhere on the map and allow you to continue doing other stuff while you're queuing for that dungeon rather than stand in front of the dungeon, wait for your buddy to appear, and wait for it to open an instance for you.
Wow.
So I don't know how that's all gonna work out. A lot of things have been still in the dark, but Blizzard. So they said that it was gonna be a little difficult to do. And anyway, they go. As many of you have noticed, the classic period was 2 years long and full of changes. Core features like battlegrounds were introduced in patches after WoW's original launch, and class design similarly changed over time, Blizzard wrote. After careful consideration, we have decided on patch 1.12, the Drums of War, as the foundation because it presents the most complete version of the classic experience. Okay. So that was
they didn't go 1.0. They went a little ahead a little bit.
Exactly.
Makes sense.
Yeah. It makes sense.
You don't want to have those freaking errors they had back then. Whatever happened.
At 1.0, I'm not sure you could queue on instances or anything like that. So 1.12 was the last major patch of vanilla Warcraft. Meaning the World of Warcraft Classic will effectively be starting from the last major milestone before the Burning Crusade. The Burning Crusade was the first expansion that they launched, by the way. It was really good also. So that makes sense. It's basically, hey, we're going to give you the original World of Warcraft, just like you asked, with every update up to, the leading towards the Burning Crusade.
Yeah. Right before
the first faction. Exactly. I feel like that's the purest
makes more
way.
sense, yeah.
It makes sense because
clearly
things are fixed.
There were 12 fixes they put in after 1.0 essentially. Why not? Why leave those fixes out?
No.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. So. Now, my question is, and you touched on it a little bit, who want to go back to, I'm thinking like graphically. I mean, those graphics were good for 2004.
Just look at the Leroy Jenkins video.
Are they? I know. Are they? And World of Warcraft, it's a game that by today's standards, I mean, you played the latest versions, and you're like, oh yeah, sure, this looks good for all the play. You have to consider all the plays that are there. They look good, but no, it actually looks very dated. Even the newest expansions coming out, it still looks dated because it's that. It's
the original,
it still have the original, exactly. And I mean, they have done some good work on it, but still. Anyway, so that's a big question mark. What is the what's going to be? How's it going to look? How's the graphics going to be?
Are they going to be? Yes, we're going back to have that more purist, probably a little bit more challenging World of Warcraft, but is it going to be graphically?
They probably couldn't. It shouldn't look like it was in 2004 because at that point, then it's gonna be a really old game. You're gonna be
Yeah.
playing like freaking
No one's going
RuneScape
to
or something
or
like
very
that.
few are going to play it.
One of the major changes they're making, of course, there was a point in time where the whole world of of Warcraft and the whole world actually changed.
Mm-hmm.
There were areas of the world that completely disappeared. It could have been a desert, the Syrian Gorge, I think it was called, that became flooded, and now it's like water. You know, it's stuff like that. The what's it called? The hinterlands.
So what are they reversing all that?
Yeah, they're bringing it back to the way it was, which is really cool because now those are areas that I would like to revisit and remember. You know, remember my times. You know, back then. The Horde area, which I forgot exactly what it's called. It's super famous for a lot of things, but I forgot what the name of it is. They got completely redone. Anyway, I'm excited. I want to see what's happening. I want to see what's next.
I'm excited for you, sir.
Thank you.
You like Wonder Woman, right?
Yeah. That movie was awesome.
Right?
Yeah.
So
and Wonder Woman is wonderful too.
Yeah, definitely. The newest movie, which is, by the way, it's going to come out on November 1st of 2019, so still more than
got
a
me
year
excited
away.
there for a second.
It's going to be it's called Wonder Woman 1984.
What?
Yes, because it takes place in the 80s.
So she's joined by Van Halen.
Yes. And Aerosmith. And
yeah.
she's also joined by Steve Trevor.
Oh, snap.
Yes.
Cap is going to be there.
No, that's not Steve Trevor.
Sorry. That's Steve Rogers.
That's Steve Rogers, yes. In a whole different universe. So Steve Trevor, if you don't recall who that is, that was the character who Chris Pine played in the first one, who, spoilers for the first one, he basically just didn't, let's say the movie ended, he didn't make it.
Yeah.
Essentially. I won't go into details.
I think it was clear.
Yeah, it was. And
he didn't make it. You know, I'm not gonna say he died. I'm just gonna say
no.
he
I'm
didn't
just saying.
it.
I'm not gonna go into details of how it happened or anything like that. But clearly, whatever.
A Sharknado.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So the question is, that was World War I, and again, you're gonna see it. It's pretty clear.
Yeah.
He didn't freaking make it. How is he here in 1984? One and two. How is it that he has not aged whatsoever?
Oh no, DC, stop, DC, stop. If you're gonna go with the trope of frozen in time or carbonation or whatever the hell, stop right now.
The question, I'm not going to go into detail what happened, but no, there was no freezing. There was no chance of freezing him unless he got warped into another zone or something like that. But then that would be even more dumb. It's just.
But not out of the realm of DC movies.
No, that's true. That's true. So what do you think about that, sir? I'll just show you the image of him, which I will post.
I saw the image of Wonder Woman, and of course, she looks stellar.
Yes.
And I love that her hair. She's still Wonder Woman, and it's the costume of that. But her hair, it makes sense that to mimic the era.
Yeah.
It had that like not puffy, but you know what I mean. That those
big hair.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't necessarily call it big hair. More like curly.
Yes.
Anyway, the thing is, she looks mad cool. I love how she looks. I didn't know anything about freaking
Steve Trevor
coming back, and that already has me a little worried.
A little concerned, yes. A little concerned.
Not in a back. Obviously, we gotta give them the chance to explain.
True.
Maybe there might be something cool.
Hopefully.
Well, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, the first I guess theory got dispelled pretty quickly and said, oh, well, maybe it's a flashback. You know what I mean? And that that's happening. It's like, well, they met in the battlefield, and it looks like he's in a mall in this particular image.
Yeah, exactly.
And not to mention the people around him look like they were pretty much in the 80s. So
yes, pretty much.
So now we're like,
that picture,
Patty Jenkins, you're gonna have to explain what's going on here. You're gonna have to explain.
You gave it. She was a good director. So let's give him a chance.
Oh no, don't get me wrong. I'm not gonna just completely write it off, but I don't know, man. I'm just like, please make it a good reason, please.
Who's excited for Anthem? There are people excited for Anthem. I'm asking the rest of the people. Okay. The people that are right now saying, "Oh yeah, I am. I don't care."
There's no one here who is.
There's no one here. Yeah, there's no.
But
I
know
here.
there's many. I know there's
many. Yes. So following Anthem's appearance at the EA Play conference on last Saturday, the game executive producer was answering some questions. He mentions that the Anthem won't have player-to-player trading at launch. So what does that mean? Because Destiny didn't have player-to-player trading, and I don't believe it still have player-to-player trading. Yeah. And there was a lot of people giving shit about it.
Oh, they were giving stuff that's not going to have it?
Yeah, not having it. Yeah, exactly. They're saying no.
So what does have it then? That's what I'm saying.
Well, what
does what's the other one?
Destiny doesn't have it.
No, I know they don't have it. But what's the other one that Jesus, the Division. Did the Division have player-to-player?
I don't believe so. I didn't play a lot to know. I don't think. I don't understand what's the reason of holding on that feature, because hey, if anything, if I'm playing in a group setting and I get a weapon or an item that I cannot use, but it could be very beneficial to you, I would like for you exactly. Why would they make you continue play, continue grinding just to get the weapon when I could have just easily given it to you?
Just handed it to me, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Or sold it, or whatever. So they're not saying it's not happening or anything like that. They're just saying that not at launch. But then again, it was similar story with Destiny, and up to this day, they haven't said anything. Let me see.
That's just odd. I mean, not that they. It's just weird that you wouldn't include it, but it's also odd that there's backlash saying, "Oh, why wouldn't you have it?" And I'm like, "Well, why would you expect it if what I'm saying, if it's being compared to Destiny and all the other ones, and they don't have it? So what's the big deal? Why would you start complaining?
Why would you? Yeah. Well, I know it's something that at the beginning it was difficult to, like with World of Warcraft. It was hard because he had it, except with the exception of some weapon. But then they change it to, okay, this weapon you can exchange it as long as you don't wear it. If you wear it, now that weapon is soulbound to you.
Oh.
So if they have some system like that, that that'll be nice. That'll be nice, even though it still doesn't make sense on the reality of things. But I'm sure they can come up with some idea. They don't have to say soulbound. They could be like, hey, it's just. This is tied to your DNA now because it's a weapon, exclusive to you, and now you can exchange it or some shit like that, whatever. I mean, there was not much to on that. Other than that, they say, hey, Anthem is gonna have a climax and a conclusion, but the game continues after that. So it's the formula. Nice. It's the formula of Destiny.
Nice. Some comic news here. Are you familiar with the old comic line called Vertigo Comics? That sound familiar?
Is that the girl? I know it was a girl that had powers.
No,
she was like a young girl.
That's not
like a teenage.
That's
like
not the name of a person or a character. That's like saying Image Comics, DC Comics.
Oh, I thought there was a Vertigo.
There may
comic.
be. I mean, with a name like that, I'm pretty sure there is a character.
There's a Vertigo. Yeah. She's an ex man. Oh, I'm sorry, an ex people.
An ex person.
Yes.
Oh man. So Vertigo is an old line of comics, essentially, that you can get, and if I'm not mistaken, the V for Vendetta graphic novel was published under that label.
I remember now.
So essentially DC is going to bring back that label, and it's going to be called now DC Vertigo, and it's going to focus on modern, socially relevant, and inventive stories that capture a whole range of genres and potentially a whole range of readers. The reason I bring this up is because, do you recall Ms. Zoe Quinn?
Yes, she writes.
Correct.
And she made a game, and she makes games.
She does make games. She's also the co-founder of Crash Override Network, Victims for Online Abuse. So she is going to have her first comic launched on Vertigo, the Vertigo line, the Vertigo label. Excuse me. So looking forward to see that from her. She's done some good stuff in her life, and you know what? I want to support her. So I just wanted to mention that also for all the people who love vertical comics, anything that they have brought up before, they'll look into some of those, probably having some re-releases and stuff like that. Although nowadays there's a lot of digital comics, so you'll probably just pick that up that way. But yeah, so Vertical Comics coming back as DC Vertigo.
And it's going to be about a young girl who's a teenager.
Oh, Jesus.
Who's
an ex-person.
Superpower, and she's an ex-person, yes. You heard it here first. And this is going to pick up Warner's going to pick up the movie rights. So
I don't want DC to do it.
You want...
Just saying.
You want a PS5?
Sure, if you're going to give it to me.
Do you want a PS5 early?
No.
Don't worry, it won't happen early. But it's interesting that we're starting to hear the little tiny bits and pieces about the next gen consoles. If you remember, we had a very weird press conference in Xbox side with Phil Spencer closing almost the conference with talks about the next generation Xbox and stuff like that. Even though he mentioned nothing concrete, just the fact that he was talking about it, it was like, okay, why is this?
He said,
where's this directed?
Don't get me wrong. Don't quote me on this. I think his exact words were the next Xbox line of consoles. I mean, that's pretty clear.
That's pretty.
That's
spoiler alert. Yeah. There's gonna be an Xbox.
I mean, we know that.
It was just the fact that he
was mentioning it.
It was mentioning this early because you're still kind of trying to gain some track on this generation, unless you have completely given up and be like, you know what, we're gonna just go for the next one.
Look at their conference. No, just kidding.
Hey, I thought you said the conference was good.
Just kidding.
Yeah. But that's okay because it's not like Sony is like resting or anything like that. There has been a story emerged recently claiming that AMD's upcoming Navi graphics architecture was created for the Sony PlayStation 5. Citing inside sources for contributor Jason Evangelho.
Sure.
I will go with that.
Evangelist.
Sorry, Jason. Jason Evangelist. Said that up to 2/3 of the engineering staff was diverted to the project with a negative knockoff effect on the development of the AMD's Vega GPU technology. Oh, that could explain why we haven't seen like the next version of the Vega GPU, which is graphics card, basically the graphics card for the computers. Exactly. This report also suggests that this occurred against the wishes of the firm's then chief architect Raja Koduri, who has seen move on to Intel. So he was like, "No, we need to create the next AMD video card for PCs, something for better than Vega, because Vega's not doing very well with us." And these guys were like, "But we want to work on the PlayStation 5 architecture because this is the one that's gonna give us money." So it's like, "Well, fuck you guys, fuck that. I'm going to Intel." Wow. I'm going to the competitor. So for the Forbes reports also goes on to suggest that the PS5, the PlayStation 5 will feature AMD's Zen Core as the basic for the CPU components, which is almost certain to be the case when you consider how close the PC architecture is, the console architecture now are to the PC architecture, to the x86.
They're basically PCs,
yeah. They're basically PCs at that point. So all in all, to say, hey, AMD might have not done like super well on the PC side of things as far as their lineup, the video card lineup for PCs, but they were doing really well on the console space because before that, they were pretty much where they designed the system on a chip for the Xbox, but the Xbox One, and now Xbox One X. That's an AMD chip. Same thing with the PlayStation 5. And at one point they were designing Nintendos, except Nintendo right now is using
starts with the V.
the Tegra architecture, which is which is NVIDIA. So interesting. It goes to it's interesting to see. These people weren't kidding when they're saying we're already, we're already developing.
I had no doubts. I obviously I don't know when they're going to start moving with it.
Yeah.
I think this most recent E3 kind of lets you know feels like we're at the tail end of this generation now.
Yeah.
Because there was nothing major, and we'll talk about that in a little bit, but yeah, I mean it's happening.
Yeah, even the major stuff, the major stuff that was available, like the new Elder Scrolls.
Yeah,
they showed something beautiful, and they didn't say, hey, and this is coming to PS4 and Xbox One X or anything like that.
That is definitely next gen.
That is definitely next gen.
And so is the other one, Starlight or
Starlight.
Yeah, that's awesome.
No, it's not called Starlight. Starfield,
yeah. Starlight.
Starlight.
Starbright.
That's what I'm
see you
thinking.
tonight. Maybe, I don't know.
Kano, Johnny Cage, Scorpion, Sonya, Liu Kang, Mortal Kombat. China.
Wrong game, sir. And we're back, and we're going to go right into our hot topic of the week.
Hot topic of the week. Hot topic. Harmonizing. Yes, harmonizing.
That's what I'm talking about. All right, guys. Hot topic of the week is simple, guys. It's going to be our full E3 wrap up.
Wrap it up.
We are going to start with our favorite E3 moments.
Fable 3. No, I'm kidding.
Fable 3 announced.
Fable 3 came out already, sir.
Oh really?
Yeah.
It
was that forgettable. Yes. It's not a good game. No. Microsoft should never go back to that well.
No. Easily off the top, speaking of Microsoft conference, the hacked ending of Microsoft conference with the Cyberpunk trailer coming up. Awesome way to end a conference. It was literally one of those and one more thing moments, but done way more spectacular.
Yes.
Definitely one of my highlights of E3.
Definitely. I feel like we missed that from a lot of recent E3s.
From a lot of conferences this year, by the way, too.
Yeah. And one more thing moment.
Yep.
Gosh, I can't remember the last one that was like, oh my God, maybe Sony with Final Fantasy VII. Was that one more thing, or that was
in the middle? That was
in the middle.
Yeah.
Oh,
because they showed Shenmue 3 right after that, and
that was a really good.
That E3 was great.
That E3 was fantastic.
That was so good.
Yeah.
I remember it too.
I mean, it still doesn't.
I think I cried a little bit.
it still does not beat the PlayStation 4 announcement. To me, that is the highest
announcement.
They announced when they started talking about it for real. That here's how you share games on PlayStation. And the price. And for
$399.
$399. All those. That to me, and I realize this goes beyond the scope of our actual topic of the week, but it bears mention. Sony had this was Sony's, or actually this was the best E3 moment of the best E3 press conference that I've experienced. That Sony press conference of not the one with Final Fantasy 13 remake and Shenmue and all those. That was cool, but this one was
that was 2015.
Yeah, it was 2015. Oh my God, that was
no. The
2013.
2013.
I'm talking about 2013.
Final Fantasy 7 remake and all that.
That was 2015. Yeah. Okay, 2013. To me, that was the best E3. You know what? Let's talk about that. Let's expand. So what was your favorite E3? You already mentioned it.
Favorite E3? I mean, there's a few. I that Final Fantasy 7 remake announcement. We were at the house. We weren't even recording anything. We weren't doing it. We were just watching.
Yeah.
And I literally leaped up off the couch. I was like, I could not believe what I was watching. And I was like, it was so good. And then, of course, you get back and you see the guy. I can't remember his name now because he's not in there anymore. But the guy on stage, and he's just like, so you guys are Adam or something like you guys are pretty excited about this, yeah, because it was like people were in the aisles,
Oh my God.
like
crying.
I'm like,
was like,
you don't understand. It's like I mean I get it. I know it's not the best, but it is definitely I think one of the most cherished ones.
Yeah.
And that's why. And it's also one that brought in so many people to that genre.
Yeah.
Because before that, it was much more of a niche genre. So, be that as it may, that was great. I do like the 2013 one as well.
Oh my God.
Freaking, how do you share video games, dude? Oh my God.
On
Was
the
that not a slap
day.
in the face? And then on top of that, they were like, oh, by the way, you can play used games on ours. I'm like, what the hell?
You can play used games on our console.
Oh, dude.
And by the way, I know you guys, because by that time, the price of the Xbox was already known, $499.
$400, that's right.
And for Sony to come in and announce that fucking $399.
That's not the first time they did that. That's not the
What?
first time. The first time they did that was with was it the Saturn? Which was the one that came out same day? It's available now. Was that the Saturn? Sega Saturn?
Oh yes.
Was that 99?
The price?
99? No,
yeah,
the
99.
date.
Yeah. September 999.
No, because that would have been available that day. No. The 99.99 I think was the Dreamcast.
That was the Dreamcast.
So
Sorry,
yeah,
you're
so
right.
the Sega Saturn,
Yeah.
they had their conference or they had their announcements going on.
The next console, and by the way,
And this it's available now, and people were just like, oh, and of course that became a big thing with freaking retail
Retailers.
stores and all that stuff.
that was a disaster.
Yeah,
That was a
absolute
fucking
disaster, yeah.
mess.
It
That
was a
did
real
not
mess.
work good at all
No, did
for
not
that
work for you,
system.
no. And then Sony comes out, and they are relatively new to the game. You know what I mean? They just come out, and they come up to I guess the guy walks up and it says $299, and then walks off the stage.
I did not know that.
Yes, look. I don't know what year
Really?
that is. I gotta look up.
I
the
mean, that
year.
must have been.
It was long time. This was before it was televised. Not televised.
Wait.
It
We're
was
talking about original PlayStation.
original PlayStation.
So 1995 then.
Yeah.
It must
This,
have been
yeah.
1995
So,
probably.
Yes, and it was
Shit, for real?
$299. Like
I
they
did
didn't have a
not
lot to say. Again, Sony's new to this. They were
Yeah.
going to be joining Nintendo, and
Yeah.
they never did. But yeah, and they came
I
out and just
cannot
said
believe-
$299.
Cause-
That's all they did, and that completely stopped
Yeah.
people from going, oh, I can buy. Oh, wait a minute.
Oh, wait a minute.
I'll wait a few months. I'll get the other one. That's no big deal.
Oh my God. Oh, I did not know that happened. Because
$299. Yeah.
what I
Again,
what
the conferences weren't like they are now.
no. What I do,
And they were not televised either.
what I remember of Sony was the complete train wreck disaster that was the PlayStation 3 announcement with the $599 US and the attack is weak point for massive damage. And dude, and I know this is gonna be controversial because people are gonna be. That Microsoft conference was fucking bad. It was terrible, and it was a megaton of horribleness. At one moment, it was a megaton of terribleness. The Sony press conference might have not had that level of megaton, but it was a lot of smaller scale nuclear attacks on the minds of players where, attack is weak point for massive damage. The demo of that Skyhawk, whatever the name, whatever that game was that you control with
The Dragon?
not the dragon. It was you control like a hover jet kind of thing, and you
6-axis.
that you use the 6-axis to control it. And that demo, like, there was no control whatsoever. The guy was trying to control, show the game with the control, and there was no control. That thing was going everywhere. I think the camera was freaking out.
Another bad one. Wii Music.
Wii Music was bad.
That was horrible.
Wii Music.
Oh,
that
I
was
think
when
that was one of
Nintendo
the-
stopped doing.
They were like, nope, we're not gonna do this anymore.
Yeah. That was what I forgot that Nintendo exec. There was that lady. Bless her heart. I know she was trying to be enthusiastic about the whole thing, but it was just coming out horrible. And
It's
then
not easy,
Miyamoto
man.
tried
It's
to
not
show
easy.
Zelda, and it wasn't working for him. He started getting frustrated. I think the first time that I've ever seen Miyamoto being actually upset on stage. Anyway, that was that's to say that that Sony PlayStation 3 conference was the low, to me, is the lowest of the low standards. Very right there, Microsoft said, "Hold my beer," and they went down.
Yeah.
They went down with them.
Yeah.
But
And let me tell you,
$599 was
let me tell you,
wow.
to date, I still say they are trying to dig themselves out of that hole that they put themselves to date. And I feel bad because Microsoft.
Microsoft.
they're
Yeah,
still
yeah.
trying
Oh,
to dig.
by all means.
And don't get me wrong, they're not. I mean, as far as units sold, they're not doing horribly. I get that. The units are still moving and all that. And I think they're still doing a bit. Well, they were doing better than 360. Anyway, so back to this E3. So yeah, the closing of their conference, which was a strong conference overall, was great. That was one of definitely highlights. Another highlight that I think bears mentioning is.
I thought we were gonna do 1-on-1.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
One?
No, go ahead.
Oh no! Oh, you want?
No,
Sure.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, so I'm gonna mention mine just in case they don't cross and you end up mentioning all of them, and then I'm like, oh yeah, and yours too. But as good as I thought the Cyberpunk announcement was, because it was a surprise. Because I did not expect. To be honest, I did not expect to see this game at E3. There was very little mention of it.
No. They said it. They said early on it's going to be at E3. CD Projekt Red.
I guess you followed them more closer than I, because I was expecting. And in retrospect, I guess I still didn't see the game. I saw a trailer, but that's fine. My understanding is that there was a demo shown, and we're going to talk about that. Anyway, so that trailer aside, my favorite moment actually, believe it or not, came from the Bethesda announcement, and it was what's his name talking.
Todd Howard.
Todd Howard. Talking about Fallout 76, which I did not think for a second that I was going to get this excited. Because, not to say, I don't know what this game is. And this game could be like the thing that I was expecting for all my life. Or it could be like the thing that I'm just going to buy. I'm going to play for a couple of days. And then I'm going to be like, nope, this ain't for me. This is not what I was looking for. But the way that he presented it was so masterful that he made me a believer. At that moment, I grabbed my phone and I pre-ordered that shit on Amazon. and I say, yes, Todd Howard, I believe in you.
You sold me on it. Yeah, he is definitely. He has a great
he has a great charisma
on stage.
Yeah,
on stage charisma.
definitely.
Him and Pete Hines too, the other guy too.
And I like that it doesn't feel like your typical executive that is gonna try to hide the information. He's gonna try to share as much as he can, and if he doesn't share something, it's because he really doesn't have anything to talk about. So I saw all his interview, most of his interviews, on YouTube on different channels. I saw, and he always appeared very legitimate. He always talk about the games that we're building.
He's been doing this for 25 years.
Yeah,
He's been doing it for a while. It's not, and I don't think there would be anything that I also, by the way, enjoyed, and I knew it. I told you as it was happening. I said, oh no. You're in for a good conference here, my friend. Because when he did the Fallout 4 reveal, it was also him. He's also the one who closed out the show.
Yeah.
And it was literally out of the hour-long conference, it was half an hour devoted to Fallout 4 info, gameplay, a bunch of elements, and on top of that, an additional trailer with an awesome music track. Dude, he just knows. I don't know what it is. He just has this. That's why I'm very excited for the Bethesda conference now because of that. They're a little bit outside of the box. They're much more relaxed. They had the freaking the band playing up. You know what I mean? Because they love to have that live stuff.
The music,
going.
the musical. So that of the whole presentation, I like where he goes. We're gonna if you pre-order the deluxe edition, we're gonna include a map of the thing of the area. And I'm thinking, a map, that's cool. You don't see a lot of those. And then he goes, that fucking lights in the dark.
That fucking lights up in the dark. Yeah.
And I was like, yes.
Because why not?
Because why not? That fucking lights in the dark. We're gonna give you a map that fucking lights in the dark. I was like,
man.
Yeah, you got my
He
money.
does, man. He has a great great persona, man.
Unfortunately, I because I went and pre-ordered. Amazon was obviously they just had the placeholder, so you just have like pre-order file 76. Nothing about the standard collector's edition or anything like that. So now they do. So I went to change my pre-order. I wanted that thing, and they don't give you the 20% discount
on the big ones.
No, it's
don't.
80. It's $80.
That's fine.
So
I could do that.
I mean, I could do that, but it's $80
Sir,
versus 40
yes, I
something.
get you.
Come on.
I think realistically,
I mean, for what I'm gonna get,
sidebar here.
I'm gonna get a map that fucking lights in the dark.
Yes, that's
maybe
one,
it's worth it. Maybe I should actually do it. Yeah,
you are getting the glow in the dark map, but no, realistically, we don't need to have. You know what I'm saying? They never said that from now on we're gonna always do this. You know what I mean? They did, and we took advantage of it. And if they back out on certain things, it is what it is.
You're talking about Amazon yeah. There was one point that they were giving $20 back for just buying a game.
Yeah.
And I bought 3 games and got one for free basically at one point. One of them was Bullet Storm actually.
Oof.
Anyway, that was one of my favorite moments, and not the only one, but one of my favorite moments of E3.
No, I mean the only other big moment that I enjoyed was the Ghost of Tsushima. The Ghost of Tsushima gameplay trailer reveal.
That looks super sexy.
That has to probably be my game of the show. I mean, easily my game of the show, because it's like, I mean, don't get me wrong, Last of Us was great.
Yeah.
But we got what we expected from Last of Us. Yeah, I wasn't expecting anything less.
That trailer was good. I mean, I was kind of surprised with the trailer.
Ghost of Tsushima?
No, sorry. Last of Us. I'm more interested. I shouldn't say it like this because it's probably not true. But Ghost of Tsushima is the new thing that I'm very curious of, and therefore I'm excited. A sequel, I'm excited. I'm excited, but I already know what to expect and what I'm getting. So what I'm trying to say is that I really like that trailer because it was a very different trailer. It was like the perfect trailer in the sense of here's a little bit of very very laid back, very people just having a good time and dancing or whatever on that church party thing that was going on. A little bit of backstory, and now we're gonna show you gameplay, but we're gonna show you real gameplay. This is the game. This is the HUD. This is the things that you. And then it cuts back, and it's like, yes, a lot of trailers should be like that. Give me a story, sure. Give me your exposition, but show me the game, which is. Well, we're gonna talk about
which can lead into it if you want, because those are my highlights.
I have a couple then, if I may. So Last of Us, fantastic trailer. It was good to see what that game is about. Just like you very well mentioned, Ghost of Tsushima, like it looked amazing. I gotta still give it to Forza Horizon for me.
Which one?
Forza Horizon 4 for me,
okay.
Just because I am super duper stoked for that game, which is weird because I'm not a gearhead or anything like that. I just like racing games because they're beautiful and they make me drive in fun ways, which I can do in real life, which is the reason why I hate by myself. I hate driving. I hate commuting, I should say. Being on a car is not my favorite thing, but like jetting at 120 miles per hour on the wrong lane and jumping off this thing and on these cars that are super gorgeous, and it's like a perfect combination of graphical fidelity and music, great music, and like a festival theme. Like that gets me super stoked, super excited to play it all the way to the end. Like I beat Forza 3. I want to see this one. I'm very excited about I was looking at those season changes and how crazy fast they happen. Like it'll be one season, suddenly the car will zoom by real fast, and by the time it passes, the scenery has changed in real time. Not even not a picture, not CGI, in real time, in engine. So, and I'm thinking like loading those textures at that speed on the regular Xbox, even on the little bitty Xbox One, that's some wizardry right there. So I've seen that presentation got me super excited, and was one of the parts of the show that I went like, yeah. So yeah, it was those three. It was Fallout 76, Last of Us 2, and Forza Horizon.
Nice.
Yeah, those were the favorites. So now,
moving on to the
there were a couple of bombs.
Worst
here,
parts of
there?
E3.
Not a lot of cringy moments.
There are some cringy moments.
There were some.
I'm going to throw in Command and Conquer for mobile from the EA conference, because what the hell are you spending 20 minutes of a conference showing us people looking at their phone, essentially?
That is having nothing to show.
Oh
really.
My God. Man, EA, I don't know, man.
I don't know.
That was
EA. I don't know. Sometimes
I just don't get it, man. Yeah, it was not. I could not. I can't even formulate words to explain why that was just. I'm like, I can't believe we're still watching this. I can't believe this is still happening.
This is a beloved
5
franchise
minutes,
also.
and we're still here staring at this, guy. Can you believe this? And the worst part is, they don't even tell you what the game is. They tell you at the end what the game is, and you're like, I don't even care anymore. I have zero care. Oh my God.
Wow. Okay, so that came out strong. I know there's some stronger ones.
Than that? Okay.
That were bad?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. You want to hear about them?
Yeah, tell me.
What the fuck? Death Stranding? What was that?
It was not that
I'm
bad.
sorry.
I'm sorry. That was not that bad.
There was something. Listen. I personally think I enjoy that Sony conference more in the matter of what they show me than even the Microsoft one. Not to say that not to take away anything from the Microsoft one or the Nintendo I didn't see. Oh, by the way, yeah, Nintendo still exists, so we should probably mention something about that. I didn't watch more. There was nothing. There was not much to show.
To me, there was some cool things. They're kind of in the middle ground.
Smash Brothers. There you go. We just mentioned the whole Nintendo one. But what I mean is that I like when they show you something and they spend time on it. I prefer that better than show me a bunch of little titles, but I don't get to see anything of it. Yeah. So I love that Last of Us 2 presentation. I love that Spider-Man presentation.
Oh, that was
what
so good.
the hell? Death Stranding. There was nothing in this trailer that made me excited about the game. Nothing. Because all I saw was a little bit of what they already showed in the previous trailer, a bunch of walking simulation. Literally, like nothing happened. This guy walking through different different areas and different sceneries.
He is basically a courier, is what he is. Yeah, that's what he is.
Yeah.
And so we get to watch him on the job.
It's funny you mention. I heard at least 2 podcasts that mentioned that same joke. They was like, I think this is like a UPS simulation. I heard that. And somebody else mentioned, I think even on the group.
Yes, I did.
So yeah. The problem that I had is I know this game is not gonna be bad. This game is gonna be amazing. I'm sure, because the pedigree that we have, and the engine that he's been given to work on. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, what he had to show here felt rushed, like ridiculously rushed. Like there was not much for them to have, and they had to have another game, another banger. They had to have another big title, and they were not gonna have Final Fantasy VII. So they have to have, what's the next thing? Oh, well, we're financing Death Stranding, so he better deliver something. So maybe they put him to the task. They show a lot of maybe the demo, which was the walking, no story, very little, and even reused portions of the previous trailers.
I would argue that there was a little bit more story here than there was on the very last trailer. That said, the very last trailer had very little story.
Yeah.
So, I think we got a little bit more. We obviously see what the traversing the game looks like.
Oh, gee.
To a unending extent. It's like we didn't need to see all that. They literally cut like half of the trailer, just to show us that, or the gameplay demo, because there was gameplay we're looking at. That said,
you want to call that gameplay? Then sure, we're gonna stretch a little bit the definition of it.
Sure,
yeah.
And in a walking simulator, that's what gameplay is.
We don't have a HUD. We don't have exactly what you're doing.
I mean,
just walking.
Yeah, true, but you didn't have a HUD in the other one in Ghost of Tsushima either. So it's not like you had to know. You didn't know where the things are.
Yeah, so. but right there you can see a fundamental difference. That trailer for Ghost of Tsushima was well crafted.
Yes,
it had something was happening.
Correct.
You were interesting. It was interesting. So it looked like a crafted thing. We're talking about Kojima here, which his trailers have been mindfucks before. They have been very good trailers.
I agree.
Even the first ones.
I
for
agree
Death
with
Stranding.
you 100% that this was probably, hey, we need a fourth major thing. What do we have, guys? Look into what do we have that's available to go here? When they said Death Stranding was going to be a big part of the show early on before the conference, I was like, why? This is he just got the engine like at the end of last year. So
I was expecting like, okay, so so they're actually gonna show the game? Is that what we're seeing there?
Yes.
Kinda.
Yeah, I was gonna say we did see that. The truth is we did. We got to see a new actress who's involved. The moment I saw her, I recognized her too. She's a French actress. And I was like, oh, okay. But yeah, I still say whatever that was, it's nowhere near as low as fucking EA's thing. Because EA's thing was just 20 minutes of shit.
Listen.
This at least had 15 to 20 minutes of interesting stuff with peppered out with just a lot of walking.
Listen, and you're right. It's gonna, but this is EA. We sort of expect that.
Oh,
if we're gonna talk about fucking Kojima, I'm gonna expect this trailer to be another mindfuck, something crazy.
It was pretty much
probably. No, it wasn't. I didn't see anything here that got me interested or more interested. Obviously, I'm interested in the game. There was nothing here that pushed the needle for me.
It didn't, I would say that too. It didn't push the needle for me. It didn't back the needle up either.
No. So I wouldn't say. Again, it's hard to because the caliber of person.
Yeah,
if this was anybody else, then I'll be worried. If and let's be honest, if this was anybody else other than Kojima, and I see this trailer, that I would have taken that needle a couple of notches down because I would have been like, okay, so is this it? I mean, there are hundreds of games out there on the third person. I played this game when it was called Metal Gear. I played this game when it was called, whatever third person action game. Give me something that will, and because it's Kojima, I expected that. I expected that Metal Gear Solid 2 trailer, which was incredible, and the Metal Gear Solid 3 trailer, and all those.
I agree.
I didn't get none of that.
I agree exactly with your point. Is to say they needed something, and they patched together what they could to give you whatever, because they just didn't have anything else ready.
Yeah.
And he tried to. I would say that he probably tried to keep it as cryptic as possible as well, because obviously he doesn't want to release certain elements of the story and stuff like that. But
you didn't feel like they have a lot. It was disappointing.
Yeah.
You expect that level of high,
considering everything
it was super disappointing.
That came before it too in that conference. It's like,
yes, exactly.
Death Stranding is happening, and then you're like, oh, okay. I'm not sure what's going on.
And we saw Last of Us 2 first, right?
Yeah.
That shit looked amazing. So yeah.
That set the tone, my friend.
That set the tone. Yeah. And I'm sorry, Kojima, I love you, bro, but you did not deliver on this one.
Another really bad moment was all of Square Enix conference.
I want to leave that. I wanted to leave that one for you because you actually got to see it. By the time
I didn't need to, I really didn't, because I saw most of it already at freaking Microsoft conference. So they replayed the Kingdom Hearts 3, and I'm like, this is the exact same trailer with the same freaking sound issues. And I'm like, what the hell? And then nothing at all.
Wow.
Nothing was. It was just like nothing here excites me. The other blip on the radar would be the Monster Hunter World cross with Final Fantasy. Is it 14? I think 14.
Final 14. Final 14.
I'm just like, oh, that's cool, but do I?
You don't play Final Fantasy 14, so it does nothing for you.
It's not even that. It's just like that. They didn't really show a lot. You know what I mean? So I was like, okay, this is.
I mean, even if it did, it's still the Final Fantasy 14. It's not gonna do much for you just to see. Oh, look, they have that. They have the character. They have a Palico now. On Final Fantasy. I mean, who cares?
How good for you guys?
It sounded good. It sounded good until
It just it didn't need. Their whole conference was literally 29 minutes, and that was 29 minutes of
nothing.
Unnecessary minutes. It was like we didn't need a conference. They did not need to do a conference.
By the time I tuned in, I was at work, and by the time I tuned in to see where it was doing, they were already
done. They were already
done.
Like, I was like, it. Wait, and it finished so quick that I think the GameSpot guys were like, "Oh, guys,
completely unexpected.
We got to get back on." Yeah, it was like because they don't know.
We got to fill an hour and 30 minutes and how banter now.
They didn't know that it was going to be so because they're not told. At least I don't think they're told.
Right.
Because it's just we're going to show it off, whatever.
Wow. Damn.
So it looked. I was like, this is just Screw Square Enix. I'm sorry. Man. I'm sorry.
See, I want to give you I want to leave you the heavy hitters because you know how to deliver them better. And besides, you went through them. I kind of missed on a lot of a lot of them. This one wasn't bad. It was actually, I could see the heart was in it. It was just a what the fuck moment to me.
Okay.
To me, again, not a bad one. I love Last of Us 2 trailer. What the fuck was that thing with the church thing? Having the people on the real church thing, like standing up. When I saw when the show started, for those who don't know, if you see the trailer of Last of Us 2, it's taking place. The characters, all the people are in this.
Well, it looks like
we call it a church. It's not really a church,
a barn, or
it could be like a barn or something like that. But it was festive.
They had lights up on the roof and all that.
It was beautiful, and it was a tone. So Sony recreated that for the conference. They recreated that, and they had the press standing there because you saw a couple of people sitting, but I saw a lot of people standing.
They were, to be fair, I mean, it was like, think of a church. You have like two large sections of chairs. All those chairs were filled up, and in between, everybody was standing. So it just looked like a mall.
I saw.
But there were a lot of people sitting within those areas. There were chairs there.
Well, the thing is to say that it looks like a tent almost.
Like a tent. That's exactly what it is. The guy said it was a tent.
So when I saw that at first, that was gonna be the setting, I kind of looked at you, and I believe I said it's like, I know they said that it was gonna be a smaller show, but damn,
yeah, because that screen in front was like, wow, it was nowhere near what they normally.
No, they usually go all out. They have like wall, Super Trintron or whatever is it that they call it now. Super HD all around. They even have that one wall for the VR event that covered the entirety of the your periphery vision, like 2 IMAX big.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And then you have this one just
like one of those indie theater.
I kept looking at you like, is this it? Is this it?
And then of course Gustavo comes out. He plays the guitar.
He starts playing the guitar and doing that. So again, it's not that it was bad.
Mm-hmm.
It was a what the fuck moment. And on top of that, kind of gimmicky and unnecessary because then they have this guy in the play, and I think, did they show the trailer there?
They showed the trailer there.
And then when they were done with that, they gave us 15 minutes of intermission while everybody was like, okay, now we're moving to the real theater, to the place, to the air conditioned one where you can sit down and
everybody else, and the rest of the show basically.
And you have from there. A bigger screen, not as big as the ones from all the other E3s, but like your typical big screen.
It looked much bigger.
Yeah. And now it was a little jarring because then you have this two. What are the names? Was it the guy that were talking?
Those are the There's actually the PlayStation blog guys.
Yeah, the PlayStation blog. Oh, yeah, they have Ryan Get. No, not Ryan Get.
I forgot his name now. I know who you're talking about. Yeah, he used to be on IGN.
Yes.
But yeah,
So they have then he's interviewing this other two.
they had
from
one.
Sony.
I think they had one announcement throughout that.
The Call of Duty one. They talked about a little bit about Call of Duty, and they gave Call of Duty 3 for free, which I thought it was cool for
available
PlayStation
now.
Pro.
Yeah,
you know, but man, the whole thing felt awkward and like unnecessary. You know, they should. I realized what you were trying to do and setting the thing, but even the people from the podcast that I listened to that were actually there, they were like, yeah, man, this was like this was a complete gimmick, a waste of time. Like it didn't need to be that, and on top of that, it was kind of uncomfortable. And
that beginning portion, I can definitely see it being uncomfortable. You know what? So many people standing. Yeah.
You know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of that stupid Microsoft reveal of the Kinect, where they have everybody like wearing this like huge shoulder pads with lights on them.
No, I don't remember this.
Oh man, that Kinect reveal. Everybody will walk it. They will have to wear this ponchos with this shoulder pads that had lights, and the whole thing was supposed to be like they were showing what appears to be a Cirque du Soleil, you know. Because that has so much to do with Kinect, right?
Yeah.
A Cirque du Soleil show, those lights will light up, and the stadium or the place will, everybody will light up, and everybody will be kind of like part of the show, you know.
So
one of the things they showed, that was a super gimmick. One of the things that showed that Iragaki, like they gave him that. He put it on and he was like, "Oh, this is bullshit." He took it out, he threw it, and he left. Nice. I remember Iragaki from Ninja. What is it called? Team Ninja. He was in Team Ninja.
Yeah, not anymore.
Not anymore. Yeah, and from a lot of sexual harassment cases.
I have no comment on that. So
it happened. So.
But yeah, so those were some of the worst moments there. So let's rank the.
You mean there's nothing else? Everything else was.
I'm talking about worst moments, not talking about all the bad moments. You know what I mean? But
there weren't a lot of worst moments, so that's why I had to throw that one. But if I throw that one and you don't throw anything else, I'm now gonna feel like the asshole. You know, like he's just shitting on
the
Sony because yeah.
Do you have anything that's worse?
Than that?
Yeah.
I thought you had something else, and that's why I was leaving
EA's conference, the one with that was just horrible. And then all of Square's, man. The other conferences were fine.
You saw Ubi.
I saw Ubisoft.
And it was good?
Conference was good, yeah.
Damn. Yeah. What a weird year.
I mean, it was odd how they started off with the whole dancing panda thing. I mean, but that wasn't bad.
There we go.
It wasn't bad. But it was just like, okay, this is Ubi. And, of course, they were showing off
the whole
Just Dance.
Panda.
You know what I mean? So I'm like, okay, of course they're going to show off Just Dance. At least I can say they got it out of the way immediately. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then boom, the show kicked off.
They got there was this is nothing. It was just a funny observation. There was a little moment after the music part on the Bethesda show where it was these two guys that started talking. There was like an awkward silence. Like I don't know if the prompter went down.
Yes, exactly what happened. Yeah,
they didn't know what.
They didn't know what to say. The prompter was like, and they stared at each other like,
like you talk, I talk, like
that's what he's saying. Yeah.
And then he started to get the crowd to like,
exactly.
Kind of so that,
and I'm like,
I
don't think they mean to do this, but
I'm surprised. Then that means this E3 went.
This E3 was good,
smooth.
Man. It was.
What a disappointment! What a disappointment!
Really? I would kind of prefer it to go smooth. Really,
I know. I like the train wrecks. I like the days of Konami.
All highs is what I want. I want everybody to just blow me away.
I want people to blow me away, but I also want to make fun of the mess up, the real mess up.
There's a lot to make fun of at EA. And like I said, man, it's EA also wasted time. I mean, it was the Madden thing.
There you go.
The Madden thing, they had this the guy from Pittsburgh Steelers out there, and the other guy, and I'm like, so are we talking about Madden the challenge, or are we talking about the Madden new game? What are we doing here? And if again that awkward on stage stuff,
Microsoft. I'm sure. I can't remember, but I'm sure that there was
anything. I mean that one lady talking about the Game Pass thing, and I guess she was trying to get like, you like that, you like that.
I'm like, people are like,
nobody cares, lady, get off the stage. You know what I mean?
Wow.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Yes, people care who have Game Pass. Oh, guess what? We have a fast load now, or a fast.
That's what it was. Yeah, it was not the Game Pass scrap. It's just that the thing that she was like, cheerleading about. It was like, okay, so what?
You
You know,
released
this
a
is
statement
yeah,
with this
we didn't
information.
need-
Why are
yeah.
you on stage talking about it?
Yeah.
I mean, again, those were minimal compared to the real bad moments.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So ranking conferences time, sir.
All right.
We're gonna
It's
start from the
ranking.
bottom to the top. All right.
Oh, I don't know if I have an order because I kind of have to
That's okay.
remember them.
I'll get them out of the way for you. How about that?
And all right.
So-
okay, but let's do. You mentioned, let's say Microsoft, and then you say, and then I say, because if you just rank them all,
No. Right. Ranking from the bottom. Starting from the bottom.
oh shit.
My worst one is Square Enix. Easily.
I don't think
29 minutes. I didn't need to even.
I don't
be
think we're
harder.
gonna disagree on any of this list.
This
here.
is true. All right. So moving on. The next
Okay.
one would be EA.
Square Enix,
Because
yeah.
again, it was an awkward. Oh, the EA spending so much time talking about we donated to charities for bullying and all this. Like, stop. We still know and we still think and know that you guys are a money grubbing
Yeah,
corporation.
you're still an evil company.
None of
Yeah.
this stuff is going to make me change my mind. Please show me gameplay. You know what I mean?
Wait. Well, are we grading them? Are we gonna give them a grade?
I was just going to rank them in order from worst to best.
Oh, I like grading them.
So then grade them. What do you give the Square one?
An F minus.
All right. What do you give the EA one?
F.
A simple F indeed.
Yes. Not see me after class.
Yes. Oh, nice. After that, I would probably have to go with, and this is not a knock at it, it's just considering the ranking and what they showed off, I would have to go with Nintendo. Nintendo
Yeah, sadly,
they had
I
a
have
lot
to
of
agree.
they had a lot of Smash Brothers, which was great.
Yep.
And a
If
lot
you're a
of,
fan of Smash Brothers, if you don't care about Smash Brothers, then
and you had
your
nothing
day
to
was
watch
shot.
here. Nothing to see here. Move
Yeah.
on. You know.
No.
They showed a lot of little titles and stuff like that. But that's really like
Not met. Yeah.
nothing huge. Yeah, nothing major.
Oh, we're gonna talk about the things that we're missing also.
Yeah,
at
oh,
one
definitely.
point. Yeah.
And then
Gotta put that
from
money.
there, I would have to go with Actually, I'm sorry, Devolver Digital. I would probably put Devolver Digital's right around the same with Nintendo. They showed off a couple games, which I did like. What's the one with the name is Pedro?
Oh, wasn't it Pedro y yo? No,
It's
it
not
was
Pedro y yo.
Papo y yo.
My friend Pedro.
My friend Pedro. Yeah.
Which looks awesome. By
That
the way.
game looks amazing.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
I love that.
Their conference was ridiculously crazy and very, very bloody as usual.
I missed. Yeah, I kind of wish that they didn't have. Okay, it was funny the first time, but
Yeah. Well, the funny thing is they brought back the guy that lost his arm in the first conference. So he had like revenge and all this. I'm like, okay, I feel you.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would throw them in there. Actually, you know what? I'll probably put them below Nintendo. I'll put Nintendo above Devolver Digital.
Wow. Okay. So I did not see that one, so I have no grade for that.
Okay.
Nintendo, I caught enough to say that was a D.
Okay.
It was
Oh, D.
actually but D plus because I'm no fuck. I really like the idea.
Passing.
I like I told you, I like when if they're gonna focus on one game, they're gonna give you everything, and I feel like they did a good job on talking about the Super Smash Brothers. They gave a description of all the all the characters, the things that are different. Every character.
I mean, they seriously did a deep dive into the game. Which again, if you are a Smash Brothers fan, you were probably creaming your pants the entire time
Yeah.
because they literally spent almost all that conference just showing you.
Just showing. You know what?
And going into little details as to, now this character has the move that'll have that, and then it shows the links, the different links.
Yeah.
Oh, if you're this link, then this is what your reach looks like, and you know what I mean? It's
Yeah,
little weird
yeah.
things like that. And I was like, wow, that's very detailed. You know, and I was like,
You know what?
I don't think I needed that much detail, but okay.
They have Nintendo's well behaved. I'm gonna go ahead and give you a little bit of bonus here. I'm gonna give you a C minus. How about that?
Yeah.
How about just because you dedicated time on Super Smash Brothers, you gave us a lot of detailed information on it, and you are well behaved.
Yeah, we'll leave it at well behaved.
Yeah. Otherwise, you would have gotten a D plus. Yeah.
The next one I would have to say is Ubisoft. Ubisoft had a strong conference, but
We're getting on the good ones now.
Ubisoft had a strong conference, but realistically, there was nothing that blew me away. The Division 2 looked like the Division 1.
Yeah.
Almost
Almost to the T. Yeah.
almost to like copying it essentially. The Shadow of the Tomb Raider looked great. but it's more shadow. It's more Tomb Raider. It's like I know what I'm getting there.
You know what you're getting exactly.
Yeah,
that racing game looked good, but
the Beyond Good and Evil, no gameplay.
There was no
it's
gameplay
another cinematic trailer.
Oh, dude, you should take points away from that.
No, so I'm saying that's what I'm just mentioning the thing. Okay, great, they have another cinematic trailer, but I still don't know what gameplay looks.
This is the E3 where you should have shown gameplay.
Correct. Yeah. Otherwise, don't bring it up.
Otherwise, you have nothing really.
Correct.
And yeah.
So other than that, like I said, I think they had a strong overall thing.
That Pirates
Skull and Bones.
Cool.
Skull and Bones. They showed gameplay of that.
Yeah.
The game's still not till 2019, so it's like, okay, good. That's good stuff. So yeah, that's where I would put Ubisoft.
I would say I agree with the ranking.
They show Odyssey off, which was really nice.
They show Odyssey, yeah, and look good. I would say they spend the right amount of time on the games, even though none of the games, maybe none of the games speak to us. But I can see. I mean, we have Nick. Your son was super excited about the Assassin's Creed.
Yeah. Yeah. He loves it.
And I can see people that like the Division. They're like, oh, you're getting more Division. Well, that's cool. That's what I want. Mm-hmm. So I could possibly give them a B- on it because I did like they did not have any mistakes. They had a smooth conference. They had a shitload of games. Again, maybe not a lot of them that got me like super stoked, but hey, this was a proper conference.
Correct. Yeah. Exactly. They did exactly what they came to do.
Yeah. Right amount of games, right amount of time spent on each of them.
The next one I would put in, and this is where it's going to get controversial. The next one I would put in is Microsoft's conference. Microsoft's conference was great. It showed off games. It didn't spend a lot of time on stuff. Some of the announcements are good in the sense that like they got 5 studios, but we don't know what those studios have. You know what I mean? It's like they just acquired or they're just recently acquired. Oh, that's great. Okay, now what? You know what I mean? It's like, okay. And the whole exclusivity thing, I know it was confusing.
That was played out.
At some point, I was like, I'm done even hearing that.
Yeah.
Just show me what it is.
They shouldn't have gone. They shouldn't have thread on that. I have big issue with that.
Yeah, they should have just let it go. After last
it was bad taste the first year,
exactly.
Last year. Yeah,
they should have not had that. They showed off some games that I really like Tunic. That was actually a very good game. I don't know if that's exclusive. I'm just throwing it out there. That's where I saw it. So you know what I mean? Obviously the closing of Cyberpunk 2077 was awesome.
That was really good.
The intro of Halo Infinite was also pretty cool. The way they you didn't know it was until it backed up and you saw Master Chief's helmet.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
So they opened and closed strong. The middle was a little bit odd. I would love to have seen more of that controller because the guy was on stage. What is it? The accessibility controller.
Oh, the accessibility controller.
I would love to have seen how they were doing it. But yeah, that's why I and then compared to the remaining 2, I say that they fall into this point for me.
Yeah. This one was difficult for me because I do understand the falls. Just like you mentioned, I like the Microsoft conference a lot, but
I thought it was great. I really
did.
Yeah.
But they did have the moments where, at one point, yes, it was almost too many. You were showing a lot of games, but not really. Like you were showing a lot of games, but there's a vast majority there that it was like, okay, we're not seeing enough of it, so it doesn't really like spike anywhere. It's like if your message was to say we have a lot of games coming, then
message is delivered.
Yeah. Which maybe that was the point. Yeah.
I would say that. I would definitely say that was what they were trying to do.
I need help making a decision on this one because even with that one, I got super excited about Forza Horizon 4, which was in the middle. Which I realize it speaks nothing to you, but this was, you have to understand, this is almost my Cyberpunk.
Wow.
This is, this is, I mean, it's a racing game that you beat to the end, that you finish, you complete it. And I've done it with, and I was not enthralled with Halo Infinity. Like I was expecting Halo 6. I didn't get that. I get Halo Infinity, which I have no idea what it is, and I'm kind of already tired of. Oh, okay, you're gonna show me the cinematic where the Master Chief helmet again. It's like you've done that before, and you done that a lot better before. Halo 3 announcement was great. So no, I can't give him that. I can't give that. But Forza Horizon, Cyberpunk at the end was probably one of my favorite moments of E3. So it had low moments, but it had equally high moments. I feel that Sony had a great moment with Last of Us 2 and Ghost of Tsushima. Yeah. Tsushima. And then the rest, and they have they have Spider-Man, which will look cool, but I already know what I'm expecting to get there. And that Death Stranding was, I'm sorry, it was just too disappointing for me. So, and again, and that's only 4 games that they pretty much, and nothing else.
No, you Resident Evil 2.
Oh, that's right. You did get talk about Resident Evil. Well, that spoke nothing to me, but I respect that it did to you Resident Evil's fault. So it's almost like I hate to do this, but I almost want to tie them, but I shouldn't because I don't like things where you're tied, everybody wins. So I need you to help me find something that will move this needle. Because
I mean, I've mentioned Microsoft.
Yeah.
I honestly, so here's the final ranking the way I have it, and they are to me neck and neck, all three. I put Microsoft because I think it was a great conference. They came out strong. They showed games, whether they're exclusive or not, we don't know. Doesn't matter. The fact is,
you still want to see
whatever
games.
They showed. You are going to be able to play it on Xbox.
And you got to see Kingdom Hearts 3.
Correct.
Gameplay.
The reveal was done there.
Yeah.
Or not the reveal, but you know what I mean. The newest gameplay stuff. So you got to see all that stuff. It was fast. It was fast paced. It moved. It moved on a pace where I'm trying to take stuff as I'm doing. I'm going, holy crap! They moved on to the next one. You know what I mean?
They try to cram a little too much in the time frame that they have. Yeah.
But they needed to show that.
But they kind of needed.
It was an appearance. We need to show that we have games, guys.
So that was the
Let's
mission.
do it. Yeah.
Yeah,
so
that was the mission.
They do, and I think they delivered on it.
Yeah.
For better or worse. Bethesda's conference was strong all around. Yeah. There were still some lows as far as yes, I got to see Doom, but not really much else. The 2 guys came on stage. They talked about. I love that one guy. Something Martin something or something Martin.
Quake 3 was like, oh, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, same thing. Quake 3.
Quake 3 was like, who cares? Nobody's playing Quake.
I get it. You need to talk
Quake
about
Arena
it. You need to, the
Prey.
Rage 2.
The Rage 2, yeah.
Prey, I wasn't too interested. I'm glad it got you to get the game, but it didn't move the ticker for me at all. Rage did. I was impressed with that. Fallout 76, hands down.
Yeah.
Then the Elder Scrolls 6, that was really nothing. That was almost a promise.
Yeah.
That was basically Shenmue 3.
That was the title.
You know what I mean? It was just like, here you go, guys, we're doing it.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, well,
yeah.
You know what I mean? That was almost. So it was almost deflating to see. I was like, oh,
what's the difference between that and the announcement of Final Fantasy VII then? They got everybody so like.
Well, first off, it was a much longer trailer. Though that actually happened. The way it was done, that's why I say it was like the trailer was designed to tease you all the way to that last reveal of Barrett and Cloud, the Buster Sword. You're like, oh shit, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the whole time you're going, wait, is this it?
Yeah.
No. Is it? No. You know, with the Elder Scrolls 6, they just showed the landscape and they said Elder Scrolls 6. That was it. That's all they did. It's like, it was great for, whatever.
Yeah.
Then, of course, they did the mobile thing. So it was it's a free mobile game that's coming out, the Elder Scrolls one. Looked cool and all that. I was like, all right, that's but the highlights for there were definitely 76, Rage 2. And on top of that, and I know this is weird, but I give them a higher boost because of how they present on stage.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Pete Hines is comfortable.
Yeah.
He made a joke about the Walmart the
leak,
Walmart
yeah.
Canada reveal.
Yeah.
He goes, apparently, we got some people can't keep secrets
Yeah.
or something. I'm like, holy shit, but they're comfortable enough to be on stage. Todd Howard también.
Yeah.
So because of that, I also boost them up right along with those major ones.
Yeah.
And then of course Sony, yes, started strong with Last of Us 2, very strong. I would say, I mean, you're up here now.
The trailer.
And, the trailer and everything with the Gustavo thing.
Yeah.
Probably a little too long on the banjo. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then the whole having to wait for 15 minutes for the rest of the show to start.
Yeah.
I don't know where they're going. Hey, I gave it to them. They try something new. Once the main show started, boom, we're on a move.
Yeah.
I got to see Spider-Man. I finally got some questions answered. How is gameplay? Is it all QTE? What are we doing? You know what I mean? No, it's actual gameplay. It's actual regular open world superhero gameplay, and it looks fucking amazing. And then, of course, yes, Death Stranding. I get it. It was probably a rushed whatever. I got to see a little bit more of it. Doesn't move the needle up or down.
Yeah.
So Ghost of Tsushima moved the needle up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It went from what is this third party thing? Who cares? I don't know. Oh, wait a minute.
Yes.
This is God of War level of awesomeness.
Exactly.
Hopefully.
Hopefully. And then on top of that, the Resident Evil 2. And Resident Evil 2, that is my favorite Resident Evil. They've mentioned the remakes now for probably 3 years. Never seeing anything. At some point, we're like, you know what? They were fucking lying.
Yeah.
They were never going to do this to begin with. And then here we have it, and there it is. And there's actual gameplay, even though they didn't show it at the show. At E3, there was gameplay, and there's actually gameplay online on YouTube. And it looks just like Resident Evil 4. Obviously, much better graphics. But within the Resident Evil 2 universe, I'm like, fuck yes, that's what I want. You know what I mean? So because of that, I literally think that they're all neck and neck. But the order I would give it from bottom up would be Microsoft, Bethesda, Sony.
Yeah, I think in my case, I was very excited. Well, I should say I'm excited for all the games that I saw on Sony's press conference. Not so much for Resident Evil 2, but for different reasons. I don't think it's crap or anything like that. It's just I never played it, so that's not. Exactly. So, but I did love those. I saw an equal amount of titles on Microsoft's side that I could say that I'm that level excited. And on top of that, I get to see other games that are on the radar now. It's like, I might not have heard of this, but this could be something. This could be cool. Hey, it was nice to see. I don't know, that DLC for the cartoony one.
Cuphead.
For Cuphead, it was cool to see. We Happy Few. It was cool to see. So those things. And a conference it was fast. A little bit too fast. A little bit too short on the games. But they kind of had to, because they had to show, like you said, they have to show that they have games. So I guess that's actually what makes me decide to put Microsoft over Sony for the rankings. Again, Sony had the games that are most excited, and I can see, they have for December. They have Spider-Man. Microsoft have Horizon for December.
Spider-Man
September. Sorry. Yes. There you go. Wow. I don't think they have updated that on my Amazon. Maybe, I don't know. Who knows? So that's awesome. I didn't even know that it was actually that close. So I'm more excited. But anyway, that is to say, I love that the presentation of Microsoft, it was breaks and fast and stuff like that, and it has its low, but it also delivered of what they had to. So I feel like that's enough to to give it maybe
the edge, to give them the edge.
Giving an A- maybe.
Oh, okay.
And Sony a B+.
Okay.
Because I really like the Sony presentation. except for that beginning that was weird, and the Death Stranding, it just took away so much of the no, not took away. It just disappointed me. It doesn't take. I still want to play that game, but that was not the best presentation of it. Just got that guy walking, and then showing the baby, showing you the ass again, and the finger, and then the lady with the weird umbrella that doesn't really cover anything. And then we already know that he has a baby that he's carrying on it, that he's getting instructions or whatever. So I don't feel like showing the Decima engine as a tech demo was good enough to move it there. So yeah, so that's why. And then of course Bethesda is a solid A, man. Bethesda. Just like you very well mentioned, so I won't drill on it too much. It was a little bit weird at the beginning. Some games that did the show that was like, okay, what? I like the musical presentation. I like it. Got me really excited for Rage 2, which I never thought was gonna say those words.
I didn't think so either. Yeah.
So, and of course, Fallout 76 stole the show. To me, it's like probably the game I'm excited, the most excited to play of the E3, just for sheer like, what the hell is this? I need to know. See, you get a trailer of course he didn't show a trailer. He talked a lot about it. He showed gameplay and all of that. That got me excited to get as opposed to the Sunny one. So yeah, that one wins. Bethesda, I called it. Oh, we're gonna go into that. We're gonna go into that.
What was missing, sir, from E3?
Oh man,
the list goes on, my friend.
For all the awesomeness that was shown,
I think we should get the obvious out of the way. Fucking Final Fantasy VII. Where the hell was that shit?
What the hell? What? This was the sole reason I thought that we were gonna have a Square Enix
Ditto
and a press conference and.
Nope.
Nothing.
They crapped the bed. Nothing was there. Nothing was there. No. This was first shown in 2015, as I mentioned, E3 2015. And even at that time, we all kind of knew, it was the promise. Yeah. That's actually the actual phrase that's said in the trailer as well, to deliver the promise. You know what I mean? And there
literally.
it is. Yeah, literally.
And they haven't.
And they have yet to deliver it. We have seen some gameplay.
It's a
little bit here and there, but nothing official. No. I know that they had to take the game away from one development studio to give it to somebody else.
Obviously, I heard they're not making it cinematic anymore. I mean, they're not making it episodic anymore.
I heard different. I heard that they've reduced it to 3 episodes. So I don't know. So that's what I'm saying. We don't know because they don't fucking show anything. So we're at a loss here.
All right. So you mentioned that one.
Yes.
Let me get one real quick. Where the hell is my Sam Fisher? Where the hell is my Splinter Cell?
Don't know.
I was promised a Splinter Cell.
Yeah, that's the one thing so far that Walmart Canada got wrong.
Yes,
that's probably Ubisoft saying no, fuck that. We're not even going to show it to anybody because of Walmart.
That is so messed up. This was the year of Sam Fisher. You didn't have Solid Snake to compete against. No. You should have stole the show, and you were showing your ass on other games from Ubisoft.
Yeah, they were.
How could you not be?
I think honestly that would have pushed them past the limit for me. If they would have done that, and they would have freaking mentioned something from UbiArt, which I guess that freaking division is just dead at this point.
Then it would have been higher than Sony.
yeah, I would have pushed it so much higher.
Probably higher than the Microsoft also.
Definitely. So yeah, I'm sorry to hear that. Sir.
Damn.
Something else that was missing there, which was also first talked about in E3 2015, Shenmue 3, the game that just does not exist.
The vaporware, huh?
Yes,
the vaporware. Wow.
I first off, I don't have that much of an attachment to Shenmue 3. That said, there is a huge following for it, and they're just sitting there like. And it was a Kickstarter. So they're like, where's my money going, guys? Yeah. That's sadness.
All right. You got that. I have another one. Master Chief, what the hell is Infinity? I want a Halo 6.
It's Infinite for the
Infinite?
Yeah.
Fuck, I can't even get the name right. Where the hell is Infinite? Where the hell is? Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention that Microsoft conference had Gears of War. What am I talking about? A++. No, I'm kidding. I forgot about Gears of War. How did I forget about Gears of War? God, that's actually if I would have remembered that, this would have not. We would have saved 20 minutes of my rambling about which one I think is better.
We would have pushed the other one up.
Yeah, of course. Gears of War. Oh my God, yes. I can't give you any more than A minus. But I will deserve A minus. Anyway, but yeah, Halo 6 was the game that I was there to see. Even so far as to expect at least, well, okay, gameplay would have been too much to expect. But a good trailer, a good something with what happened to Cortana.
When was the last Halo 5? What year was that?
2015.
No.
2016. 2015, I think it was.
16 or 15? See, if it's 16, then I can understand. If it's 15...
When was Halo 5 released?
Jesus Christ. I don't think Siri can understand what you just said.
She's like, go ahead, I'm listening. Hold on.
No idea.
Google, where was Halo 5 released? Let's see.
You said where?
Checking on that, here's what I found on the
Oh my God, just tell me the date. It was October 27th of 2015.
So no. In that case, yeah, we should have something.
We should have had something.
We should have something. Yeah.
It's 2018.
Yeah.
You're giving, and this is the year that you like clockwork. You would have expected it, and you give us Infinite, and you give us
Nothing
Infinite,
yeah.
And we don't know anything about what this game is.
Yeah.
No, man. No.
I agree.
B+. I'm downgrading you.
Back down again.
Yeah, back down again. Actually, that Gears pop was kind of cute, so I'm putting you back.
Jesus. Square, again, had something considered a press conference.
The company that delivers. They're the new Konami.
They are the new Konami. And they failed to deliver on any of the Avengers projects they have had in the works now for God knows how long. Wow. It's like, what are you waiting for? We are already past the Avengers Infinity War. You need to say something now.
This would have been the chance to release it next year with the next movie.
Exactly.
You fucked up already. You missed the train on that one.
Crap the bed, guys. You crapped the bed.
Oh, my God. All right. So that was good. I'm going to meet you there. And I'm going to say, hey, Nintendo.
I knew you were going to. I was wondering if you're going to bring this up.
Where the hell is Metroid Prime?
Oh, that's not the one I thought you were going to bring up, but go ahead.
You can bring it up, but because Metroid Prime, hey, I was promised Metroid Prime 2. That's a thing. I mean, also, from the announcement, it was very exciting. This would have been a perfect opportunity also to have it because you only have Smash Brothers and that's it. And no, we didn't even get that. So
I mean, we may have another direct between now and the end of the year.
Yeah, we want to. Metroid is you should have shown E3. Then again, Nintendo doesn't play by the normal conventions. Yeah. So
speaking of Nintendo, and this is the one I thought you were going to bring.
Nintendogs. Where the hell? No, I'm kidding.
Bayonetta 3. That's what I thought you were going to bring up. I was like, where was Bayonetta 3? Shown off originally.
We're done. We are done. We don't need to talk about it anymore. Thank you for listening. We'll see you guys again. GG. No, bro. Are you kidding me? How could I forget?
I don't know. That's what I was asking.
How could I forget?
I'm like, man, I thought you were bring it up, but I guess not.
I got slapped into reality with that one. Bayonetta 3. No. Forget about Smash Bros. Bayonetta 3 should have been shown on this like
something. Anything, even before the Smash Brothers.
Give me a. What did we give frigging Nintendo? I'm gonna put them at just as low as Square Enix.
I have them with.
I'm gonna put them with Square Enix just for that.
Just for that.
They miss on two big items, and they have nothing for this.
I would definitely
other than Smash
argue that Metroid Prime 4, again going back to the last E3 thing, all they had was the title screen. Or the title of the thing. That's all they had.
Like we had Cyberpunk back then.
We had a trailer, but it was still a trailer. It was still something.
Okay, so we should have had a trailer. That's what I expected. I expected a trailer, not gameplay. A trailer. A trailer. Just Bayonetta 3, also a trailer.
Missing in action.
Oh man.
You got anything else that you need?
I don't think it matters anymore. I was gonna say Borderlands 3, but who the hell cares? Just for Bayonetta 3, I'm gonna throw this one to you.
Oh,
The PSN name change. This was the last chance that Sony had to rectify that. They didn't. So, Sony fans, it's never happening. Never. It's not going to happen. Doesn't matter if you offer to pay $100 per change of name. Sony can't do it.
First off, I would agree. I think that it's probably not going to happen. That said, I don't think this is their last chance. I think the last time Sean Layden brought it up was at PSX last year, which is in December. So I think, and I also think that that's a very, very like Sony player specific thing that maybe just doesn't need to be brought up at a press conference. However, at a PSX, it makes sense to maybe bring it up at that point. So I would say, while yes, they probably still won't have, they probably can't do it, one. And two, yes, if they can, they probably should have brought something up here. I would definitely say by this year's PSX, if they don't say anything, it's not happening.
You are willing to see.
We give him a year because he even said, "Oh, don't worry, it is being worked on." That's what he said on PSX. So a year has passed, and he has. So that's why. But still, you're right. It was missing. It's still a good inclusion in the missing.
All right. Before you do the closing ceremonies for this long ass podcast, that we were worried that
we still haven't even got to the prediction results, sir.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Because I got one more thing at the end. Well, go ahead.
All right. I don't have any more missing. I mean, there were
no, me neither. That was my close. Yeah,
Borderlands 3 was definitely another one.
Crackdown 3.
Crackdown 3 was there though.
Yeah, but was it really?
It's not.
And we are announcing that we're delaying the game until February, so please be excited.
Please be excited. All right, let me. I unfortunately left the paper at home.
Oh, so you got to read from that.
So I have to read it from. I told my wife, "Hey, can you do me a favor? Can you take the picture of it and send it to me?"
And she did.
And she did because she's so awesome. So
wonderful wife that you have, sir.
She is. So we're gonna start here with with Miss Shadow, since she's not here. We'll start with her.
Throw her under the bus.
Throw her under the bus. That's how we do, guys.
That's how we do.
She started off with a main. Oh, you got to take score. Sorry, you have to take score.
Okay.
Yeah,
right,
so I don't know how you're gonna do it. Just make it happen.
All right, I'll just write on this word.
There you go. I don't even want to. Yeah, Shadow. All right. So her first of her regular ones was a main Pokemon for Switch this holiday, and that is a negative.
For this, I think I agree. I think a major Pokemon. She said
a main Pokemon.
A main Pokemon.
Yeah, not the Let's Go. That's not a main.
No,
Pokemon.
I'm gonna give the point.
What?
I'm gonna give it the point. I tell you why.
Okay, talk to me.
I don't think we're gonna get the Pokemon that people are expecting.
No, we haven't got that. They didn't say anything.
Well, we're not gonna. They're not really working on 3DS games anymore, and the Switch is not gonna have that type of RPG or the outdated RPG element or gameplay. I think Pokemon Let's Go. It's the new main Pokemon. I think this is the Pokemon that we're getting, and to the point that we're getting two versions of it, even like the other one.
Nintendo has said this is not the main Pokemon.
Nintendo has said this is not the main Pokemon.
This is not the main Pokemon that they, when they mentioned last year that they're working on Pokemon and they had the guy who was working on concept art and all that stuff. This is not his game.
I don't. Sir, I'm gonna need you to source that to me because I do not. No. Yeah.
But that said, we didn't get a main Pokemon for holiday season because, again, the Pokemon Let's Go was already out there.
It's not. It has a release.
No. It was already. As I'm saying, it was already on the books at that point.
So I seen Shadow knew about it already. You know,
Correct, because that wasn't a main one. All right, well, you want to give
All
us a
right,
point?
okay.
That's
So,
fine.
all right, so
but I was just
you're
like,
talking
wait,
about-
that's not a main Pokemon.
okay. Sorry, Shadow. I tried to advocate for you, but yeah,
That's okay. I feel you. I feel you.
It didn't happen. Even though I feel like this should be the main. This is the main Pokemon. But go ahead. no
Fair enough.
point for you. Come
Fair
back
enough.
1 year, literally.
The next one was Death Stranding final showcase and release date. So we did get a showcase. So I would give that to her.
Did we?
Yeah, we did.
we?
We got more now than we've ever got from any.
She said final,
She did final
showcase. Final showcase. This is not a final showcase.
I would
This
say
was a
you're
tech
right.
demo.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry, but if we're
I was going to
fighting
give her
that-
at least a 0.3 on that.
a point three.
Yeah, because we got a showcase.
A 0.5.
It's not the final.
If you want to
showcase.
give it a 0.5, I'll be okay with giving it a 0.5.
No, because she also mentioned release date and then didn't give release date. So 0.3.
a 0.3.
Yeah, I mean, think about it.
Damn it.
Death
I'm
Stranding,
gonna need a calculator to calculate this at the end. Now we're doing fucking fractions.
frog fractions, guys.
Frog fractions.
All right. Bethesda announces Skyrim for mobile or something Elder Scrolls related.
That's a plus.
That is
that's
definitely
a plus.
That's a plus. I gave her a point for that one. I laughed hysterical when she said it too, and I was like, no, I
Hey,
gotta give her the point.
We're
for that.
having it on Alexa, so that
Yes.
should tell you.
That says it all, guys.
So yeah, point,
That's a point,
Point
yeah.
for it. That's a point.
That's a point.
So she has 1 point.
Yeah. She has 1.3. Sony announces a Jack and Daxter reboot or remaster. That's a negative.
That's a
one.
negative one. So you're back to 0.3.
That's messed up. And then every showcase, in this case, we did correct and say every major showcase from the main three, Nintendo, Sony, and Microsoft, will show at least 10 indie titles. And she almost got it.
I'm not counting it. Did you count it?
She almost got it because Microsoft had an indie reel, and you obviously they don't gotta spend time, but
yeah.
there's gonna be the reel. They had the reel.
And they had 9.
The Nintendo had an indies. Sony had nothing at all, and they usually always do.
Oh, damn. That was a safe point. I would have thought. All right, so let me ask you, when he gets to crazy predictions, do we award more points for them being crazy, or do we keep it at 1?
I think we had gone up to 5 points for.
5
I don't
points?
remember.
Was
that.
it five? Wow.
I said make it 2 points, and you're like, no, let's make it 5. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, let's make it 2 then. I guess let's calibrate here.
Okay, let's calibrate.
here. Let's say 2.
All right.
They can't put the
So
ones.
for her, we call them pie in the sky predictions here. She said Microsoft will get real exclusives for Xbox.
That was a real exclusive.
I know, but
What did she mean? Well, that sounds stupid because obviously they're gonna have real exclusives. I feel like we must have missed what she meant.
No, we laughed about it because even we were like, oh, that's fucked up.
Of course.
You know?
We're like, oh.
But she was like, no, real exclusive, as in things that were only gonna be for the Xbox console, not for my PC. So I don't know if we have a way of confirming any of that. That's definitely a difficult one.
I'm trying to think. I mean, because all the first party is gonna be on PC, and I feel like there could be a title there, maybe an indie that
will be an exclusive only to Xbox.
Could be an exclusive one, but are we?
I don't recall seeing anything specifically stating that.
Also, I feel like in the spirit of this, that would be. I mean, you can win that with fucking Cuphead. Oh no, Cuphead is on PC also.
Yeah.
You can win that with. I mean, I'm sure there is one, but if we find it, I feel that the spirit of this category. I'm not sure if. I mean, would you? I don't know. I don't want to be the asshole. I'm just saying.
Unfortunately, it's too vague to tell. And Microsoft throwing the word exclusive around so much.
Yeah. That said, we kind of agreed. We kind of said that we should have called her on when we were talking about back then. So if there is one, can you think of any?
I can't think of any.
Me neither.
You know what? We'll fact it.
We'll do a recap right now.
Yeah. And then her second one was we will see Beyond Good and Evil 2.
We have a few.
No. We will see Beyond.
No, I was thinking we have a few.
That's not exclusive.
Fuck.
Yeah.
All right.
Not exclusive
I
at all.
tried. Anyway, go.
We will see Beyond Good Evil 2 gameplay and release date.
Oh no. Nice try though. Nice try.
Nice
Your
try.
heart was in it.
So
1.3.
for the moment, she has 1.3 points. So congratulations.
Good
Shadow.
job, Shadow. You have so far. You are
In
ahead.
the lead. And then we go to yourself, sir. Last of Us 2.
Okay, hold on.
This is basically what you said. Last of Us 2 will be shown and will have a November 2018 release date. So,
I don't deserve a point there because obviously
Obviously they were
it's gonna
going
be
to
shown.
show.
That's
Yeah,
that's
that
not
was
the
already
prediction. That was that it is known.
It is
but
known.
it is known.
I love that.
But the November was there a release day announced for it?
No, there's no release date.
Okay,
Yeah,
not at
no
all.
release date at all.
You know, I feel like if I would have got October, they would have said October, you should have given me something.
I would have given you at least a partial, yeah.
Okay, all right. So nothing
But
on
no,
that.
nothing was released,
No,
yeah.
I'm 0 on that one.
Halo 6 at Microsoft
Oh, fuck,
event,
0.
plus the Master Chief PC.
Oh, minus. All right. So I'm -2 on that
Oh,
one.
That's funny.
I have -2.
So here's a good one, and you caught this one pretty well. That said, you overextended yourself. If you would have just stopped, it was just so. I laughed as I was reviewing this. If you would have just stopped with the thing, you said Cyberpunk 2077 trailer would be shown.
Yes.
It would have a release quarter, and
We do.
and it would be. Do we?
Yeah, they say the fall 2019.
They did not.
They didn't say that. I will find it to you right
Are
now.
you serious? Yeah. I didn't dude, I saw that trailer so many times. I didn't see anything on fall
That's it.
2019.
Cyberpunk 27 release day, June of 2019. That's a year. That's a month, actually.
That is a month.
And it's on part of a quarter.
And you know what? In this case, I'd have to give you the whole point because it would be less than 1 year.
Woo!
Yeah. That must have been after the conference
I think it
itself.
was. I
Because
think
it
it
was like,
was.
well, not at the conference.
Yes.
Good job, sir. Good job.
Thank you. I have -1 so far.
How do you have -1?
Because I gave myself -2.
Why are you giving your negative points?
Halo 6 and Master Chief Collection PC.
Hey, you don't get you don't negate the points because of that.
I deserve to. All right.
New Splinter Cell trailer with Michael Ironside.
I thought that was a gimme because I heard the rumors and I was like, yes, I'm not gonna tell anyone.
Yeah, I
heard
know.
the rumors.
And it was not even there.
not even there.
That's so wrong.
Oh my fuck.
And then your
Oh,
final
man.
regular one, which again should have been a gimme, Final Fantasy VII trailer release. That was so bad.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
It goes to show that you cannot predict anything
No,
on
it's
this
impossible.
shows.
It's impossible.
Oh my god.
Oh, man.
So far I'm behind. I already lost. Oh no, because I have that
You
crazy
have 1
one.
point. Yeah, you have 1 point. And now you're two crazy
You
ones.
two first. Oh my
Okay,
god. Yeah. I
biggest,
already missed one.
yeah, the biggest one of them all.
Oh my God.
Total of 0 games will showcase a battle royale mode. 6 seconds or 6 minutes into the EA conference.
It took 6 minutes into the year conference to talk about Battle Royale.
Oh, that was
my
good.
god, what was I smoking? It was something that you gave me to eat. It was something in the food.
Sure, blame me. We were here.
Oh my god, that hurts so much.
I know my face is hurting too. Sony buys license for Metal Gear Solid. that was so pie in the sky. It's unreal.
I know. I
man.
did it. Hey, I won the previous 2 years. I needed to throw myself out there. I needed to cast a wide net
You sure did, sir. You
or a
sure
very
did.
specific net. Oh my god.
My first one of the regular
So I
one.
got officially I have 1 point.
Yes, officially. Yeah.
Woohoo.
Without the negatives. Don't have any negatives here. Days Gone, final showcase, release date January 2019.
Yes.
I missed 1 month.
Wait, it was shown?
It was it was shown in the earlier stuff, but it is the release date is the I guess if it wasn't shown at E3, no, I guess that's
Well, no, it was not shown at E3. It was shown before E3.
it was shown the Thursday before E3.
I count-
Remember these guys were releasing one thing every day leading up to E3.
Yeah, and that was one of them.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's part of E3.
Okay.
I think that's
Either
part-
way, it was Well, I put it's Final showcase. The Days Gone final showcase, January 2019. I missed that because I missed that. So that's still like a 0.5. You know.
Oh, yeah.
It's not,
All right.
it's not a full whatever.
All
so.
right, let's give you a 0.3 there.
There you go. 0.3. That's fine. Sony, yeah, we'll do 0.3 because it wasn't technically at the main stuff.
Yeah.
So, so we'll do that. That's fine.
And also E3, so 0.3.
Sony announces Tenchu reboot.
Well, they did. It's called Ghost of
It's called
Tsushima.
Ghost of Tsushima.
Yes, good job.
No.
I'll give you the point.
No.
You get a 1 point there.
No.
So you nailed that.
No, that's not Tenchu, bro.
That's totally Tenchu. Look at it. And people mention it. People were like,
Really?
Dude, is this like Tenchu?
No, that
I
doesn't look
said it
like
even.
Tenchu. I think you were talking about the other one that was from Software.
0.3.
Fine, I'll take a point. I'm not going to argue shit. Cyberpunk unanimously gets Game of the Show.
1. Congratulations. Oh my God.
I don't know if it's unanimous, sir. I don't know if it's unanimous, but I do know that
It is
IGN's
the
Game of
big
the Show.
part.
It is IGN's Game of the Show.
Is again, let's see, and that's how we rate. That's our standard. We rate
Is it?
by
No, yeah, but there's a lot of I said it websites. So I mentioned it plural as in say
E3 2018 Game of the Show.
IGN.
Oh, there are people getting it to Ghost of Tsushima.
That's Push
The
Square. You
biggest-
see, yeah,
That's it.
right there. Best of E3 awards.
Oh,
IGN.
which one?
Right, you just
Oh,
passed.
yeah. This one. And services best of E3 is. Oh, that's a big ass list. Yeah, I believe you. Anthem. I mean,
I follow them on Instagram and they posted the picture.
there you go. There you go.
That's
There
where I
you
know.
go. Yes. Yeah.
But they are the only ones so far. So no points there. Rocksteady.
No, wait. Why not? No, why not points?
Because I said
It's
unanimously.
game of the because you used the word
I used
unanimously.
unanimously, yes.
0.3.
Slowly
point three.
working my way to a point here.
Hey, that so far you have been almost right.
Oh man. Rocksteady Superman. Where was Rocksteady? That was another one that was
Yeah,
missing.
what was Rocksteady at all? Yeah, that's true. Another miss. Yes.
Another missed one. And then finally was Game Pass and Xbox Live would be combined into one thing.
Nope, but you can you can play your games faster. You can load them faster, I guess, or some shit
Yeah,
like that.
fast start.
So 0.3.
No. Oh man. And then my two crazy ones are just way
Oh,
off.
those weren't the crazy ones?
No,
Oh,
no.
shit.
I went all
I
off.
thought Superman
was
was.
off the ball.
Oh, okay.
I was all over the place. And
For
if,
the break to see if you can beat Shadow.
if I can take the lead here, guys.
Yes.
No. Square Enix. The moment I say
No,
Square Enix, I'm already
0 points.
0 point. Square Enix announces a Legacy of Kain Soul Reaper reboot or remaster.
Wow. Why Legacy of K? Who knows?
I love Legacy of Kain Soul Reaper. That was such a
I
good
guess
game.
you wanted it that much.
Yeah, bastards. And then finally, someone audibly boos an EA executive on stage.
Wait, did we tell me that did not happen?
I don't know. I didn't hear it, so I have
Did
no
someone
clue.
boo at E3?
That's what I was saying. I was like, it's gonna happen.
If that happened, I'm gonna give you 5 points.
Oh man.
Did someone boo
EA conference.
EA conference? Yeah. Breaking it down.
No, but
Nope.
nobody did. Yeah.
Oh, has anyone ever booed on stage live at E3? Nope. Well, that was bad.
Yeah. That was a
All
pie in
right.
the sky, guys. Pie in
Yeah,
the sky.
that was.
So
I mean, kind of
officially,
expected. Actually, that should have been a gimme.
I was booing, but of course I wasn't there.
I know I was booing.
Yeah. So it looks like we have a winner, and
We
her
have a
name is
winner.
Shadow.
Yes.
She-
Woo! See, she didn't even know. She didn't even need the points that we were trying to give her.
Yeah. She would have. Yeah. She would have still taken.
You got it. You got it, Shadow. Yes. Good job.
Good job, Shadow.
By 1.3. The final score is 1.3.
1.3.
Shadow.
She takes the win with
She
a
takes the
1.3.
win. Second place, I guess I took second place with 1 point. And then you got third place with 0.9.
Sir, and I don't even think I really got 0.9. those were sympathy points. that I got there.
3.3.
Yeah, 3.3. It's like 0.3. So.
Congratulations, Shadow. You are the E3 Nostradamus
For 2018.
for 2018.
Congratulations.
Oh my God, this is this has been longer than some of the
Yes,
other
yes.
podcasts.
We need to wrap this up. So you said you had one more thing to say before we did wrap it up.
Oh, so just real quick, we talked about the good, we talked about the bad. I think it's time to real quick mention the ugly.
Oh boy.
What the hell, Sony, is it with you not letting people play Fortnite.
Yes.
With Nintendo and with Xbox?
Honestly, I don't think that's Sony. I mean, yes, they don't let the crossplay happen. I get that. However, the account is on Epic Games.
Yes, it is.
So I think to an extent, Epic has kind of painted Sony into this corner, probably on purpose too. And while I say, that said, this is a theory. If they are doing it, good on Epic.
Yeah.
Force their hand.
Because there's nothing stopping. It has happened. It happened by accident, but it happened. They're both advocating, Microsoft and Nintendo, both advocating. So hey, let's just play all of us. Sony's saying no. We understand the business. The business reason. The reason why I said this is the ugly is because lately it has been all over the news, including mainstream news.
Yeah.
And it has given Sony a very almost undeserving bad rap, because before that they have been giving us like great stuff. And I understand they're trying to defend the side of the business. People say, well, why would they have to? Well, when you get a slogan that it says for the players, and when you're in that level ahead of your competition, just saying, I have an Xbox, you have a PlayStation, I can't play with my bestest friend because he has a different console that I do.
It's not only that.
That's kind of fucked up.
It's not only that. It's the other portion of this is if you decide to like on Switch, you get you start the game on Switch and you try to log into your account so that you can pull over all your stats, so you don't have to play crossplay.
And the money that you spend, the item that you spend money on,
it won't let you do it because it says your account is tied to this.
Suddenly,
one here,
exactly.
That's what I'm saying. That's where I'm like, that's not Sony. That's Epic.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And maybe it's because of some restrictions, whatever. But I'm just like, they flipped the switch like nothing before. You know what I mean? So I'm like,
it was painted. It was painted in the corner. And I mean, what is the option? It's not like Epic is gonna be like, so if you happen to have paid money, I mean, this is what they should do. To be honest with you, I feel like this is the workaround that they should give the players, rather than shit on Sony completely. If you bought these items on this and you can't play with Switch, or not that you can play, but you can't use your account.
Pull over,
Do another account, and we will transfer something similar.
Right.
I mean, I don't honestly. The logistics of that sounds kind of ridiculous. So maybe that's not the solution exactly as I'm saying it, but something that will allow to like bypass basically the wall that Sony has built around the game.
That's the part where Sony's responsible for the wall that they put up.
That's the part where you just look bad. You have bad will, and it doesn't matter how much you want to protect. At this point, you want to protect your business side of thing at the expense of your goodwill. And if history has shown us is that in gaming, the goodwill of the company has taken them farther than the greediness. Say for CD Projekt Red is a perfect example. This is a company, they don't do loot boxes, they don't do crazy DLC. They actually do full expansions. They don't even DRM their shit, and they have epic like long ass games. Anybody could easily pirate them. And I know some assholes do, but for the most people appreciate the fact that, you know what, you're giving us this freedom, so we're not going to do that to you. You have it with Sony itself. They have actually done a good deal. When Microsoft announced that price point, and on top of that, there were killing themselves with the and you can't use games and stuff like that. Sony, the only thing they needed to do is, hey, we allow you to continue using games the normal way. They didn't even have to do a price drop for any reason. That's why that price drop forever will be like one of the most amazing things. Not the price drop, but the price announcement at a lower by $100 less, not by $50, but by $100 less than Microsoft. It was like, and look how you grew. Yeah. So it's the goodwill, and now I feel like you're on top, and you're going back to your old ways that it was, So yeah. So I just wanted to close on that. Did you mention
that is definitely
mention that. Come on, Sonny. Seriously, do you have nothing to lose? Actually, do you have a lot of goodwill? The more you wait for this to happen, because it will have to inevitably happen. This is not going to go away.
This is the future,
Yeah, if you think this is going to go away, you're going to get, trampled on basically by your competition. And don't get me wrong. I don't have any qualms thinking Microsoft could have done the same thing. Would there be on top?
Oh no,
it's whoever's on top is always going to become the asshole.
Yeah.
So that could be Microsoft, that could be Sony, that could be
right
Nintendo.
now it's Sony.
So, right now it's Sony. So yeah. So that was the ugly. So we got the good, the bad, and the ugly. There. Yeah. We can close now the show.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for tuning in to a massive episode 1863. Also known as the real episode 112. Please, as always, go to goodgame.tech, join the conversation there, and please like, subscribe, and share this podcast with everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in. My name is Arnaldo, a.k.a. Mad Dog, signing off for this week. Mr. Santos, you'll have to take us home.
Come on, Sony. No, just kidding. I said my piece. I talked about it. Thank you guys for joining us. This was a pretty good E3.
It was.
I'm excited for the next one. I guess we're gonna start hearing about consoles and stuff like that, man.
Probably.
But you guys gonna have to wait for episode 6478. Until then, we see you next week. GG. GG's The Mouthful podcast is brought to you by goodgame.tech, the most welcoming gaming community on Facebook. Join the conversation at www.goodgame.tech.